ay sabay na babangon, sama-samang nahon, ihanda ang sarili sa hamon. Ipagpipigil sa pagsulong sa kinabukasan na katuon para sa di kalidad na edukasyon.
Balik eskwela na naman, sa puso ang kahandaan. Handang isip, handa bukas, sa pagkakaisa ay may lakas.
Ito na ang normal, online learning ang modular. Di pa kailangan mag-face to face, gamit ang cellphone at radio base. Yakapin na ang pagbabago, kahirapan kaya natin to. Lakasan ng iyong buhok sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Muslim, Kristiyano at katutubo, isang hanggarin sa patuko. Ipagpatuloy pag-aaral mo, tagumpay ay naghihintay sa iyo.
Balik eskwela na naman, sa puso ang kahandaan. Handang isip, handa bukas, sa pagkakaisa ay may lakas.
Ito na ang normal, online learning ang modular. Pa kailangan mo face to face, gamit ang cellphone at radio base. Yakapin na ang pagbabago, kahirapan kaya natin to. Lakasan ng iyong buhok sa bagong normal, sa bagong
Isang alang-alang natin ang ating kaligtasan sa bawat oras at panahon, mapakailanman. Hangat palagi ng ating paaralan ang matuto, gayon din maging ligtas ang kabataan. Tayo ay magkaisa, halina't sama-sama, kasali lahat, kasama lahat, para sa lahat. Pilipinas, maghanda ka na, balik eskwela na, tara. Tayong lahat sabay-sabay,
pagkakaisa ay may lakas. Ito na ang normal, online learning ang modular. Pa kailangan mo face to face, gamit ang cellphone at radio base. Yakapin na ang pagbabago, kahirapan kaya natin to. Lakasan ng iyong buhok sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo. Sa bagong normal, sa bagong mundo.
Welcome back to our afternoon session. Maayong hapon dira sa mga taga-clusters 1 and 3. You're still tuned in on our training on learning management system, and I am still your moderator from this tea hour up until the cocktail hour. For this afternoon preliminaries, we will have Kabantian National High School to lead us in Makabayan song, and sabay-sabay tayong mag-get out with Ma'am Turno of Cabantian National High School. You're on screen.
Saan matatagpuan? Tigas ng pelas ng silangan, nag-ibig sa buwan. Naliwang-liwaga ng silangan, asan ang bayan o lungsod? Mga ikibo, ilaga at kanluran, ang Pilipino ay nagmumukod. Sama-sama natin ang pinakamatayong libig. Magkay ng aking langit, magkay ng aking libig, ang aking ibig ay pinakamatayong. Angat ko'y tagumpay natin lahat. Buhay sa iyong pangarap, sa aking dakilang lupain, at sa sama-sama nating pagsisikap, sama-sama rin mararating. Ang ibang pinagdadaan, isang tulungan, dito sa harap, isang nagulungan. Sama-sama natin ang pinakamatayong libig. Ang aming tagumpay, tagumpay ng aking langit, tagumpay ng aking libig, ang tanging ibig at inaawan. Angat ko'y tagumpay natin lahat. Angat ko'y tagumpay natin lahat.
Thank you so much, Cabantian National High School, and special mention to Sir Hector Ortega and Ma'am Turno for our energizer this afternoon. And we would also would like to say hello to the Cabantian National High School teachers, to Ma'am Carmel Tayabas of English department. Time check, it's 1:43 p.m. And please be reminded to log in or sign to your attendance. It's on the screen. It is on the screen. You can visit the link. It's tinyurl.com/CWLMS day 4 p.m. Again, tinyurl.com/CWLMS day 4 p.m. And the most awaited part this afternoon, five, the top five for day 4 a.m. watch advocates. And of course, the winner of the home prepaid Wi-Fi, courtesy of our school heads in clusters 1 and 3. So let's call in our very dynamic and beautiful Dr. Liberty Arellano of Cabantian National High School. You're on screen, ma'am.
Thank you, Christine. Good afternoon, clusters 1 and 3. I hope you enjoy today's sessions and you find the sessions interesting and meaningful. It must be meaningful so that it will be remembered always and it will not die its natural death. This training is part of our preparation for the new normal. So it's time for me to announce the top 5 day 4 morning top watch advocate winners. May I have the list now. Okay, the first one who will receive the Globe prepaid Wi-Fi is Miss Evelyn Verador of Leon Garcia Senior National High School. And the 4 remaining one will receive 100 peso Globe cell phone cards. So the second is Miss Desiree May Nimer of Comunal National High School. And Andrew T. Hue of F. Bangoy National High School. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. The other one is Miss Grilly or Grilay. How do you pronounce your name? Grilly May E. Katamko of Santa Ana National High School. And the last but not the least, from Bernardo Di Carpio National High School, Mr. Neil Hermen P. Andoy. Congratulations.
Congratulations, winners. And thank you so much, Dr. Liberty, for announcing the winners day 4 a.m. Now, before we proceed to our discussions or insight sharing this afternoon, I would just want to say hello, mga pa-shout out request natin from Santa Ana National High School, Araling Panlipunan Department. Good afternoon. MAPE Department, hello, headed by Sir Roger Pialago. I think Sir Roger Pialago was my teacher in college. I'm not so sure, but it seems like. And hello to Ma'am Marilu C. Gilay of Araling Panlipunan. Hello to the Erico T. Nograles teachers, junior high school, and hello po, Ma'am Jade Morales Fernandez. Good afternoon to all of our teachers in clusters 1 and 3 for the attendance. Meron daw hindi nakakita ng attendance. Okay. I am going to read the attendance if you cannot see it on screen because you cannot click on it. You just have to snap it, type it, or you can just write it down before you type it to your browser. So I'm just going to read it. It's tinyurl.com/CWLMS day 4 p.m. All small letters. tinyurl.com CWLMS day 4 p.m. All right, and don't forget to give us an evaluation later after all of the discussions, your feedback, recommendations, and comments. These are highly appreciated. And of course, do not forget to just log into the attendance link. And now I think we are ready for our discussion. But before that, we would also would like to thank our sponsors. Okay, earlier I said that the sponsors of these trainings are our school heads. So let's start from our Cluster 3, we have Ma'am Ruth A. Rafano of Acacia National High School, Ma'am Maribeth V. Alcorda of Bernardo D. Carpio National High School, Dr. Liberty R. Arellano of Cabantian National High School, Ma'am Janet Musa of Comunal National High School, Sir Roberto R. Binag of Gorgonio Tajo Senior National High School, Sir Romeo E. Ticar of Pablo Lorenzo National High School. We also have Sir Charlie B. Pulma of Chofilo V. Fernandez National High School, Ma'am Maria Luisa T. Mamitag of Waan National High School, Ma'am Arceli Arellano of Mudyang High School, TV Fernandez National High School Annex, Ma'am Maria Ligaya R. Romero of Pilar Rodriguez IS Bernardo Carpio National High School Annex. And for Cluster 1, we have Ma'am Evelyn S. Magno, Davao City National High School, Ma'am Josephine A. Basilio of Emilio Ramos National High School, Ma'am Jocelyn O. Simafranca of Erico T. Nograles National High School, Sir Rolando Capol of Francisco Bangoy National High School, Ma'am Shirley Elizabeth N. Jacobe of Leon Garcia Senior National High School, Sir Riwel A. Alvarez of Santa Ana National High School, Engineer Ridelion Morales of Vicenta Nograles National High School, and we also have Sir Yuri Giovanni Yuculita of Davao City National High School, Madapo Campus. Now, for the lighter part of this show, let's continue greeting our co-teachers. Is this for real? We have a viewer from Lebanon, but anyway, whatever happened to Lebanon, I think it is important that we should pray for them because it is something that we do not wish to happen to any country or any city. Good afternoon to Ma'am Boniol and hello to Sir Patrick Masculino, Sir Cho Revatores, and we also have Sir Valentino Alias. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Ma'am Ginaline S. Gamit. Okay, watching po si Ma'am Ginaline Gamit. Hello ma'am, good afternoon po. And good afternoon to all the teachers of Bernardo Carpio National High School. Good afternoon, watching from Kahayagan Elementary School. So it's not just secondary high school. We also have elementary. Well, welcome to our training, sir. So just keep on watching. Hello from Davao City National High School, Madapo Campus. Shout out po. Shout out. Hello. And we also have from Team Cabantian National High School, Junior and Senior High School Department. Sobrang active ng ating Cabantian ngayon. Shout out to Araling Panlipunan Department of Davao City National High School, headed by our amazing, energetic, talented Sir Jed Betty. Si Sir Jed Betty, siya yung first moderator natin on the first day. And then good afternoon from TV FNHS. Hello everyone. Congratulations, Ma'am Girly May Katamko. I think si Ma'am Girly, I'm sorry, Ma'am Girly yung nanalo kanina, nasa top 4 natin. Congratulations. And then good afternoon from all from Davao City National High School. Good afternoon, everyone. So greetings from Davao City National High School. Magandang hapon po from Ma'am Rhea Gravador. All right, so much for the greetings and the lighter part of the show. Let's proceed to this part, a little bit serious part, but definitely it's worth it. This afternoon, we will be We will be hearing some thoughts from Ma'am Leia Gamutan, our guidance counselor in the division office, and also working on the CPP and gender development. Homeroom training of the parents. You're on screen, Ma'am Lara. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, good
Good afternoon.
afternoon. Okay.
Go ahead po.
My courtesy to Ever Dynamic PSDS, Dr. Winifredo E. Cagape, Head of Cluster 1 and 3, school heads under Cluster 1 and 3, teachers, and all the participants in this cluster-wide training on the learning management system, a pleasant afternoon. My task this afternoon is to present the homeroom training for the parents, which I have learned from Dr. Janet Veloso during the regional training of trainers in the learning management system. I want to start this session with a quote from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. This quote applies to children and especially applies during a pandemic. The children's experiences of this time will have a tremendous impact or future impact on them. Mindful parenting is an opportunity to positively influence on the ultimate impact. For us educators and also for the parents, according to World Health Organization, it is very necessary to provide social and emotional support to our learners because it directly impacts their learning and how they view themselves and navigate the world. As we prepare for the new normal in education, due to the changes brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Department of Education underscores the important role of parents and guardians in making sure that their learning or the learning of their children will continue amid the expected disruptions. I want you to journey with me about the important role of parents in this new normal, and this is tailored fit to the Davao region context. If you are going to convey this to the parents, you can contextualize or add some or improve some contents. Since for now, we will not have a face-to-face learning interactions, so that means everything will be done in a remote learning modality. Our parents will play the vital role as they inspire and manage in the learning of the students at home. So my presentation outline are the following: Sulong Edukalidad Framework, regional initiatives based on Learning Continuity Plan, the LCP, the mechanism in the distribution and retrieval of the self-learning modules. This is very important also for the parents to know how things can be done, especially pag magdi-distribute na ng mga modules. Calendar for school year 2020-2021. These are the calendar of activities which is contextualized based or according to the teaching learning activities. Video files for physical fitness test, we will be showing that later. Video files for mental wellness and psychosocial support, psychological first aid activities, may magkakandak later. The local IATF protocols and the safety measures. Okay, DepEd Vision. So the DepEd Vision, this is where we anchor the Sulong Edukalidad framework. I got this statement from Dr. Janet Veloso and I quote, "The DepEd vision is the heart o yung puso po daw ng pagsasamahan sa DepEd." Okay, the DepEd mission, so this is articulated and directed on how we would want our teachers, our students, the community, and the stakeholders as they engage in this the package or the training for the parents. Okay, the core values, the makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan, makabansa, the parents should also know this and it will serve as an inspiration to them. Okay, the most essential learning competencies, mainly, okay, we need also to orient this to our parents para alam din nila what are the most essential learning competencies. And then we will just reiterate and emphasize also the characteristics Okay. And the endurance din po. So we will explain to them why there are other competencies not included na. So bakit may na-retain, may na-merge na competencies, na-rephrase, and na-drop din na competencies. It is downloadable in the package. So don't worry kasi if you are going to orient your parents with this, magaguide niyo sila yan. Okay, so the different modalities and roles of key players. Okay. Actually, there are two. There are only two. The traditional face-to-face learning and the distance learning. However, in the distance learning kasi scale up na siya. That means blended na. It means a combination of two or more modalities, whichever is applicable based on the local IATF. So, based yun sa severity or high risk ba ang area, but still the basis ng decision ng natin is with the local IATF. Okay, so distance learning, there are 5. The modular distance learning, online distance learning, the TV radio-based, offline distance learning, and the blended learning. Okay, so let's proceed to the parenting in the new normal. So this is important na we are about to convey this to our beloved parents. Okay? So parenting in the new normal. There are many ways parents play a key role in the education of their children. Parental encouragement had played a crucial role in successful students. Their role is not limited to home, but also in the involvement in school activities also. Many studies and surveys have noted the importance of parents' involvement in child's education. Students daw with good support from home have achieved better grades at school and grew up with a higher self-esteem. So here are the few ways which parents can adopt to help with our child's education. This is more tailored fit in our present situation, and this is based from the top 20 most essential parenting measures to be done. With this discussion, I also included the positive parenting, which I have learned from the seminars given by the UNICEF, the Philippine Guidance Counselors Association, and different psychologists' view also. So first is be a role model. A child's education starts from home. Parents are their first teachers, and they have a key role in shaping up their character. Parents' value system matters. Why? Because their values are more important because they impart this to their children. And usually, children are more affected by what their parents do than by what their parents say. Okay? Children behave like how they see their parents also behave because ang ano nila is kung ano ang nakikita nila, yun ang kanilang ginagaya. Okay? So, fathers, they also follow by example. So, for example, if you are a parent and if you're optimistic, you're showing optimism, of course, that positivity will be passed on to your children. Okay, next is read together. So, ano pa ito siya? Sa lower years na ito. So, it helps children, stimulates their imagination, and expands their understanding of the world. It helps them develop language, listening skills, and prepare them to understand the written word. Oversee child's activity. It is important to have an eye on your children's activity in school and at home. Their general habits are closely linked to how they respond and perform in their studies. So you need to give them timely advice and correct them right and there if you notice a not so good behavior, and inspire children to be a good citizen. Help them to be more organized in their daily routine and find enough time for their lessons. Okay, no overscheduling. It is not a good idea to overschedule. When they spend half of their time at school na, diba? So you need to help them schedule their extra learning homework at home without burdening them. So balancing between lessons, play, and rest is important to have a quality student life. Later pa yun siya, we will watch the prototype learning schedules at home. Okay, next is the provide pleasant atmosphere. Parents should make sure that the children are provided with peaceful and pleasant atmosphere. It is good to avoid discussing family problems in front of your children, and don't create a mess or unnecessary quarrels. You can also provide a space for your child, or even just like corner, may corner kayo na they can have their schoolwork, they can rest, they can relax there, and even they have their own space if they want moment na sila lang or time alone. Okay? Next is give constructive criticism. If you notice any downsides, make them understand what is right and wrong instead of blaming them. Okay? You can also use the positive approach. We often end up saying, stop doing that. So that's a negative, the negative ang dating yan. But children are much more likely to do what we ask if we give them positive instructions. So say the behavior you want to say using the positive word. So instead of negative ang sasabihin mo, this is the example, please put your clothes or things in order. Instead of saying, don't make a mess. Or pwede mo sabihin, anak, mas mainam kung aayusin mo ang mga gamit mo para madali mong mahanap ang mga bagay na gusto mo. Kesa sa yung hindi maayos, matagal mong mahanap yung gusto mong bagay na hahanapin mo. Okay, reward them for results. Giving good motivation is important for each child to perform better with studies. So don't hesitate to reward them if they come up with good results in the test. This is also giving them the spirit to perform better every next time. You may cook their favorite food as their reward, pwede yun. Or maaari mong sabihin sa anak mo kung meron siyang positibong bagay, may positibong bagay na nangyari, or ginawa siya sa araw na yun, pupurihin mo siya at sasabihin mo sa kanya na kahanga-hanga ka anak. Okay? Maintain parent-teacher relationships. Don't skip the parent-teacher meetings and interaction session. It is good to keep a good relationship with your child's teacher. Learn from them about child's activities in school and make sure to connect or to correct the child if something is wrong. Maintaining parent-teacher relationships also show your interest in your child's matter. So that's a good feeling para sa part ng anak ninyo. Okay? Monitor their learning. Some children take up initiatives themselves to spend time for learning at home. However, it is not the case also for other parents because they want also other interventions. For many children, don't force them to do anything, but do a proper monitoring about their learning at home and give friendly advices. Have a check on their leisure time if they are lacking in performance. So sa tingin mo parang hindi na maganda ang kanyang performance sa school, try to check baka mahaba yung leisure time niya. Try to limit the social media engagement. Okay? Devise fun ways to learn. Make learning a fun activity with devising some interesting ways. Gamification is also a good idea to adopt for home learning and utilize playing time to help them memorize and revise the difficult subject areas with some fun tricks. Perform fun quizzes and friendly debates at home. So especially pag nagbabanding ang family, doon niyo isisingit yung mga debates niyo, but friendly lang siya. That cover their lessons or include flashcard activities to revise their subject with fun. Okay, be a good friend. So, this is very important. Aside from being a parent to your child, you can also be a good friend to them. Give them a space to share anything that comes to their mind. Might it be talk about sports, music, celebrities, whether may chika-chika, and friends. Cook favorite food or meal together, exercise together with their music, engage in enjoyable activities. Although this is a scary time na mag-enjoy, but it could be very well to be remembered as one of their best childhood memories. Maganda po yun na naibibigay natin sa inyong mga anak ang happy memories kasi dadalhin nila yun when they grow up. Okay? Na kahit papaano sa panahon ng pandemya, mararanasan din nila ang kasiyahan at magiging magandang alaala na kasama kayong magkapamilya. According to Eric Erickson, Children love and want to be loved, and they much very prefer the joy of accomplishment to the triumph of the hateful failure. Okay? Um, Listen and be supportive also. Being a good listener is a key to let them raise and share their concerns, reflect, and validate their feelings. So, pwede mo sabihin, it's okay if you're a little worried too, but we will take care of ourselves, especially right now sa panahon ng pandemya. It is important also to answer their questions and address their concerns. You help the children communicate their feelings and remind them that it's okay to feel sad, mad, afraid, and confused. That if there is fear of uncertainty, let them tell them that it's a natural reaction to a not normal situation. Maybe today may not be good, but tomorrow or the next day would be better. So that's a positive, kumbaga pa, positivity amidst adversity. Give them also the assurance that you would offer a helping hand despite what all comes their way. This would boost their confidence and help them excel and perform better in learning and other school activities. Why? Anong meron pag confident ang anak ninyo? When children feel confident, they also develop a measure of resiliency that helps them navigate an unprecedented disruptive time like this. Okay, so this I Teach, the regional initiative, I Teach, I Learn. So this is our Region 11 during the global pandemic na initiative nila. It is comprehensive region-led learning continuity plan. It is hopeful that the technology, academic community, and the household education of the learners proceeds along through this trying time. Above, the entire direction for DepEd is to ensure that this global crisis, every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Okay. So there are survey na kinandak ang region. So the following are the results. So this is the readiness and accessibility to technology and remote learning modalities of stakeholders. So it revealed that preferred modality, the readiness and accessibility to technology, remote learning modalities of stakeholders in schools in Region 11. So they revealed that preferred modality by learners, parents, teachers, and school heads is the modular through distance learning module. So next is the offline mode with 26.45%. Third is in the spot is the online, which is 23.55. And the list is the modular through school on air via radio transmission. Okay. Okay. The Davao City Division also conducts survey. So, hihingi lang po ako sa planning section. So, here is the result. I will just mention it. So, in Davao City Division, survey result revealed the preferred modality is still the modular through distance learning modules, which is 69.63%. Next is online, 13.06%. Combination, 6.43%. Television, 6.12%. Radio, 3.27%. And other, that's 1.46%. Okay, so nag-survey din ang with the special education, the existing conditions concern learners as of June 3. So total of 543 respondents comprising the parents of the learners, teachers, and school heads. So the pie graph shows 71.4% of the respondents preferred for the offering of modular pa rin. Through distance learning modules, the second choice of the respondents is the online mode, and the least preferred is the offline mode. Okay? So another regional initiative, you've learned this. I think this is your first day, no, yung learning management system, the Moodle system. So I will not dwell on this. So that's the design. Okay, the learning management system, so you can access that through that site. Okay, so anong meron with the LMS? Creating an account in learning management system, enrollment methods in learning management system, creating a course or subject in the learning system. So you've executed this last time. Okay, school records management system also. So ang beneficiaries, school administration, ICT, and so on. Okay. And then the ALS, Online Enrollment Management System. So meron din sila. So in the entire Philippines, this is the online system, first ever siya. Okay? This initiative will pave the way of paperless enrollment and ease of generating data and other statistics vital for the provision of quality education for the out-of-school youth. Okay. So at this moment, let us watch the video clip on the prototype learning schedules at home.
Sample of learning schedule at home from grades 7 to 10. 7 o'clock to 8 a.m. breakfast, from 8 o'clock to 8:15 a.m. for prayer, C for advisory, announcement class, every Monday. 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. TLE, special curricular programs. From Tuesday to Thursday, 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. Filipino. Every Friday, 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. TLE, special curricular programs, every Monday. 9:15 to 10:15 a.m. TLE, special curricular programs, from Tuesday to Thursday, 9:15 to 10:15 a.m. English. Every Friday, 9:15 to 10:15 a.m. TLE, special curricular programs. From 10:15 to 10:30 a.m. recess, household tasks every Monday. 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Filipino. From Tuesday to Friday, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Science. From 11:30 to 12 a.m. Independence, collaborative learning. 12 o'clock to 1 p.m. Lunch, household tasks, creative, from Monday to Thursday. 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. Mathematics. Every Friday, 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. English, access and use the provided SLMs. From Monday to Thursday, 2 o'clock to 3 MAPE, access and use the provided SLMs. Every Friday, 2 o'clock to 3 p.m. Charity Panlapunan, access and use the provided SLMs. From Monday to Tuesday, 3 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. Arabic Panlapunan. From Wednesday to Friday, ESP, access and use the provided SLMs. Monday 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Homeroom guidance. From Tuesday to Friday, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Independent, collaborative learning. 4:30 to 5 p.m. closing prayer, personal reflection and journal. 5 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. dinner time. 6:30 to 9 p.m. free time and or reading stories. 9 p.m. onwards, bedtime. Total in minutes 360.
Okay, that's the prototype learning schedules at home. This is included in the e-training package for the parents. You can show that to your parents para they will be oriented with that schedules at home. Okay. Also this, nasa package na rin yan. We will not dwell on this. You can download that in the e-learning package. Okay, the help desk. Okay, this is regional kasi siya na mga directory. You can make your own in your school para aware ang parents who to contact if there are issues and concerns. Okay, so pwede niyo siya i-fill in and present that to your parents. Yung child protection policy in charge, academic specialist, technical team, guidance counselor, sino sila, medical team, immersion, ESC, and the JDVP. Okay. Okay. Also in this distribution, you just coordinate and check on your school on how you process in the distribution of the self-learning modules. Okay. Okay.
A community-oriented school initiative access in which authorized volunteers deliver learning materials directly to assigned households or barangays and being monitored by authorized school personnel. And the third, PCSHS Express. School-based pickup service initiative accessible to parents and guardians, where they can get learning materials of their students without hassle, also monitored by authorized school personnel. Furthermore, Panabo City Senior High School also developed security feature for its PCSHS activity sheets and learning modules, which will be embedded with unique QR code. QR code data will include the following: learner's complete name, LRN or the learner's reference number. Third is the grade and section. Fourth, the parent or guardian's contact number. And the fifth is the PCSHS official website link. This is clickable and directly connects to the website, which signifies the worksheet or module is successfully delivered or claimed by parents or guardians or the students. A glimpse of Panabo City Senior High School delivery and retrieval scheme for modular learning modality.
Okay, so that's the video on the distribution and retrieval of the self-learning module. This school calendar and activities for school year 2020-21, you can, kumbaga, bigyan lang ninyo ng idea ang mga parents kung anong mga activities. That's for the school year, whole year na po siya. It will start May 2020 until June 2021. Okay? So, yan na po. Mga ano lang yan siya. That's monthly. June. So, this is also downloadable. Nasa package din siya ng e-training for the parents. You can access that. You can show that to your parents para alam nila and guided sila with such activities. Okay? And then December, January, February. So, kompleto po yan. Okay, so this time, this is the physical fitness test. So there's a video also na your parents would know kung anong importance ng physical fitness aside from academic masyado yung ating students. Okay, let's watch this.
To measure cardiovascular endurance, 3-minute step test will be performed.
sprint will be conducted. For body composition, the battery test is the body mass index, which includes height and weight. Hexagon agility test will be used to measure agility. To measure the coordination of eye and hand, juggling will be conducted. Department of Education Region 11 conceptualized the digital conduct of physical fitness tests for the utilization of teachers and students for physical education classes. Physical fitness test is conducted to determine the level of fitness of students, identify strengths and weaknesses for development and improvement, provide baseline data for selection of physical activities for enhancement of health and skill performance, gather data for the development of norms and standards, and motivate, guide, and counsel students in selecting sports for recreation, competition, and lifestyle participation.
Then, to measure the strength or the stability of the core muscles, basic plans will be executed.
To test the flexibility of the lower extremities, sit and reach will be performed.
To measure the explosive strength and power of the leg muscles, standing long jump will be done. action time, stick drop test will be performed.
Okay, so that's the physical fitness test. Okay, for this mental wellness, it is also included in the package, so you can give that to the parents. Mahaba po siya, so kumpleto na yan. Okay. Another is this protocol. So this is a protocol for COVID-19. So you need also to discuss this with your parents, or you just remind them. Okay. Always practice physical distancing. I prefer to use physical distancing instead of social distancing because, of course, we need to connect also to others, right, or socially. So it's physical because you just keep distant to the people that surrounds you. Okay, so remind also the parents to stay at home, of course. If it's not essential or important, then don't go out. Buhay muna, bahay muna. Okay? Another, yung personal hygiene and protocols of COVID-19. So, pwede niyo yung i-share sa inyong parents. Wash your hands with soap and water. This includes before and after eating and after going to the toilet. Use of alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, your nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect surfaces you use often, such as desks and doorknobs. Clean and disinfect objects you use often as mobile phones, ballpen, keys, wallet, and passes. Also, eat healthy food and take vitamins. Okay, so ito ang palaisipan sa ating mga magulang. Bilang isang magulang, ano ang magiging bahagi mo sa ganitong sitwasyon? Hindi natin pwedeng itigil, hindi din natin ito ginusto. Pero ang tanong, ano ang maibabahagi at magagawa ng isang magulang bilang kaparte ng isang solusyon? A lot of parents are very apprehensive, worried for the upcoming school opening, and we need to assure them and build their confidence kung ano po ang role nila dito sa new normal. We have to convince them na kaya nila ito, mabigyan ng gabay ang mga anak sa kanilang mga tahanan, at kaya din nilang matulungan ang mga guro sa paaralan. With less learning competencies, there's this most essential learning competencies, self-learning modules, online, TV, radio-based learning modalities. As parents, you are the first teacher of your children. Yung mga guro po sa paaralan ay tinatawag na pangalawang magulang. Challenging times are full of changes, and remember, change is a process and not an event. Let us embrace new normal. In the midst of adversity, let us realize that even if it is hard, but something new that we can learn from. Okay? And in this time of uncertainty, our positivity remains and that education still continues. I will end this session with a quote from Wade Boggs. A positive attitude causes a chain reaction to positive thoughts, events, and outcomes. It is a catalyst and it sparks extraordinary results. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Lara, for sharing your expertise with us. The parenting in the new normal, the prototype learning schedules at home, these things are very helpful to us, not just the teachers, but also the parents. And the fact na maraming guro ang magulang din sa bahay, so definitely makakatulong ito. Thank you so much, Ma'am Lera. We appreciate your presence this afternoon here with us to help the teachers and also the parent teachers with regard to parenting the new normal. And also, this is like teaching the new normal. So at this point, I would like to remind our teachers in clusters 1 to 3, we still have our attendance link on our screen. We still have up until 3 p.m. So you can still log in, encode your name, complete name, and we encourage you to use your Department of Education email address. And in case you have questions for Ma'am Lira about the parenting in the new normal, the prototype schedule, we will cater those questions later. We have our Padlet link on your screen. So you cannot click on it, but you can snap it, type it on your Chrome or your Safari or any browser you have. But I am going to read it for your convenience. It's going to be bit.ly/day4 cluster1 Padlet. So it's on your screen. All questions towards Ma'am Lera, you can actually input it there, and then we will cater that after the program or later this open forum. And we would also like to say hello. Parang naging na tayo, national na yung training natin kasi we've seen some greetings from Solo, Pangutaran Solo, Division of Negros Oriental, and we also have Zamboanga City. So, hello po, good afternoon sa inyo. Meron din nagsabi na Vibal. But we appreciate it. It is something like you are saying the level of the training that we are conducting here in clusters 1 and 3 is like the Vibal level, which I think is pretty good. So thank you so much sa mga binisaya pa, sa mga nasaag. But we really appreciate your presence. Our official hashtag is, or our hashtag Sulong Edukalidad, hashtag Abante Clusters 1 and 3. And before we proceed to our second speaker this afternoon, we just also want to say Assalamu alaikum, Ma'am Madeline Lintange. And then hello to F. Bangoy National High School, especially Aralpan Department headed by Ma'am Lilia Artuge. And then grade 10 Santa Ana National High School family. Hello, shout out to the Acacia National High School teachers. Ma'am Glenda Punaan and Ma'am Taho, hello. That's from Sir Jed Acero. And then hello to Bernardo National High School. And greetings to Ma'am Ayay, Sir Paulo, Sir Eugene, Ma'am Casey, Sir Erland, and Sir Clifford. That's from Bernardo National High School. And then shout out to Madapo Annex and Sir Yuri from Ma'am Shirley Elizabeth and Jacobe, Principal 1 of Leon Garcia National High School. Na-miss niya ata yung kanyang mga kasamahan sa Madapo Annex. However, Leon Garcia, wag magselos kasi Ma'am Shirley also said, hello, Leon Garcia National High School, arangkada tayo. All right, let's proceed to our second speaker this afternoon. The topic will be mental health and psychological first aid. Our speaker will be registered nurse of Davao City National High School, none other than Ma'am Leia Engayo. You're on screen, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Take it away, po.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker this afternoon, who is going to talk to us about mental health, psychosocial support, and remote psychological services. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker this afternoon, who is going to talk to us about mental health, psychosocial support, and remote psychological first aid. Especially this pandemic has brought up the best and the worst in humanity. All over the world, we have seen heartwarming acts of resilience, inventiveness, solidarity, and kindness. We have already lost so much, but we cannot lose hope. This is a subject in which we should all be deeply interested to protect and promote psychosocial well being and prevent or treat mental disorder. Our speaker is a clinical psychologist, presently assistant professor at University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and chairman of Mental Health Psychosocial Support Special Interest Group. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dan Paulo Yema.
Hello po, magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. I'm going to discuss about some important considerations regarding mental health and psychosocial support and remote psychological first aid. We're going to learn how we are going to apply MHPSS and psychological first aid virtually. Kasi po tayo po ngayon ay nasa punto na ang ating mga kagaya nito ng activity na ginagawa natin, lahat ay sa paggamit ng technology. Okay? So, kagaya po na nasabi ko kanina, for my part, I will be going to discuss MHPSS in brief and course you through the conduct of remote psychological first aid as our proactive and protective response during the COVID-19 outbreak. Okay? So kung ready na po kayong lahat, make sure nakapwesto kayo ng masarap-sarap, nakaupo kayo ng okay or nakahiga man, no, kasi ito po ay dire-diretso tayo for around 30 to 40 minutes. So sit back and then listen carefully, and we begin our discussion first by answering and reviewing what MHPSS is. So we define MHPSS, or mental health and psychosocial support, is used, to describe any type of local support that aims to protect or promote psychosocial well-being and or prevent or treat mental disorder. So given po that MHPSS is any kind of local support, no, MHPSS in itself is not an approach. Okay? But rather, MHPSS offers us a set of guidelines to be followed in order for our psychosocial support initiatives to be effective and successful. So, MHPSS, for its purpose, is to enable humanitarian actors and communities to plan, establish, and coordinate a set of minimum multi-sectoral responses to protect and improve people's mental health and psychosocial well-being in the midst of an emergency. So kaya po, gumagawa tayo ng MHPSS initiative through the training of psychological first aid because we want to improve our kapwa, our fellow Filipinos' lives through psychosocial support. Okay? So, kung babalikan uli po natin, no, MHPSS acts as a guide. Okay? It's a guide. And as a guide, we should be able to follow its core principles, which includes the following. Starting with the first core principle of human rights and equity. So for every MHPSS initiative or activity, human rights of all affected persons should be promoted, as well as the protection of individuals and groups who are at a heightened risk of human rights violations. And who are these people? Kung naaalala pa natin, they are the marginalized. Okay, so the marginalized are usually at high risks of vulnerability. That is why we have to protect their human rights and provide equity. Second is participation. So every MHPSS activity, the participation of the local, ayan, sana po malakas na yung audio ko. Yan, so the participation of the local affected population should be maximized. Ayan. So kaya po hinihingi yung participation ninyo kasi we would like to maximize the persons in your particular areas. So kayo yung magiging point persons per areas. The third one is the core principle of do no harm. So in every MHPSS initiative, there is a potential harm, especially when working on mental health and psychosocial support because it deals with highly sensitive issues. So we have to be careful in dealing with such cases. Core principle number 4 is building on available resources and capacities. So the key here is to build on local capacities, supporting self-help, and strengthening the resources already present. So yun nga po, sabi ko kanina, we are maximizing what we have at hand. Okay, kasi meron na tayong resources. So dapat yun yung una nating nagagamit. And then, core principle number 5 is on integrated support systems. So MHPSS activities and programs should be integrated as far as possible. Okay? That is why if you're going to work on psychosocial support, it's better that we work hand in hand with other organizations, whether that is a government or a non-government organization, so that we'll be able to get all the support we can have in making our psychosocial social support activities more effective. And finally, MHPSS activities is composed of a multi-layered support. So a layered system of complementary support is key in organizing MHPSS. And this multi-layered system of MHPSS is shown in the intervention pyramid. Starting with the base layer, which is basic services and security. So in here, the well-being of all people should be protected through the establishment or re-establishment of security, adequate governance, and services that address basic physical needs, which includes food, shelter, water, basic health care, no, and control of communicable disease. And that is what the government now is doing. Secondly, has something to do with community and family supports. Okay? So here, ang ibinibigay natin ditong serbisyo has something to do with access to key community and family supports. So if you're able now to fulfill the basic needs para mas lalo pa na matulungan tayo psychosocially, kailangan we are provided with community and family supports. On the third layer now is the focus non-specialized supports. So dito makikita natin that it represents the support necessary for the still smaller, mas konti na lang, compared to the other two layers who needs additional support, no? Whether it is a focused individual, family, or group intervention by trained and supervised workers, no? And included here in the third layer is the conduct of psychological first aid. Okay, so dyan papatak yung psychological first aid na gagawin natin. And at the top layer is specialized supports. So dito, yung mga tao na na-identify natin under the third layer na nangangailangan ng referral, dito natin sila ibibigay sa specialized services wherein this will now be provided by registered or licensed mental health and medical professionals to be able to provide their specific needs. Okay? So that is the intervention pyramid. So there are lots of MHPSS activities that we can do. And included, if you can see at number 5, no, yung basic training natin on psychological first aid, kasama dyan. At yung mga iba pang bagay na maaari nating magawa para sa komunidad in order for us to deliver psychosocial support. Okay? However, no, given all those activities that that we have here in the screen, no, continuous monitoring and evaluation should take place to identify the most appropriate activity at a given time. Okay? So ngayon na alam na natin, na refresh na tayo so kung ano nga ba ang MHPSS, no? We go now directly and more specifically to as to a specific MHPSS activity that we can do, and that is psychological first aid. Okay? Pero ngayon, medyo mapapansin natin na medyo magiging iba konti yung approach natin because this would be some very it's similar but is somehow different from the usual psychological first aid that we were trained to do before. Okay? Because ngayon, we are required to do PFA virtually. So mamaya titingnan natin bakit ba siya virtually and how we are able to perform it. Pero balikan muna natin uli kung ano nga ba ang PFA. So we define PFA as a method of helping people in distress so they feel calm and supported to cope better with their challenges. Okay, so PFA help normalize worry and emotions. It also promotes healthy coping and provides feeling of safety, calming, and hope. And since PFA is first aid per se, PFA is designed to reduce the initial distress caused by crisis events and to foster short and long-term adaptive functioning and coping. So yun yung aim natin sa pagbibigay ng psychological first aid. To capacitate the person, give him or her short and long-term adaptive skills and coping para malampasan niya, no, yung crisis na pinagdadaanan natin ngayon dahil sa COVID. Okay? So, aside from what is mentioned and what is written there, ano pa ba yung mga dahilan kung bakit mahalaga at ginagamit natin ang psychological first aid? Number 1 is because it is consistent with research evidence on risk and resilience following a crisis. So PFA somehow helps us build, no, our resilience. Pinatatatag niya tayo. Dinaragdagan niya yung ating kapasidad na maging matatag. Secondly, it is applicable and practical in field settings. And right now, we are doing it remotely. Okay? Kasi nga, napaka-flexible gamitin ng psychological first aid. Pangatlo, it is appropriate for development levels across the lifespan. Huwag nyo na lang pong pansinin yung third bullet na nandyan sa presentation. Kasi nung ginawa ko ito, wala pang guide sa paggawa ng psychological first aid sa mga teenagers or mga kabataan. Pero ngayon po, meron na. So basically, pwede natin gamitin ng psychological first aid sa kanila. No? Na hahantong din po sa huli, referral kung sakaling kailangan nila. Okay? So, yan yung mga kailangan natin review natin on what psychological first aid is. Now, bakit remote psychological first aid? Why is it PFA in a distance? Why is it virtual psychological first aid? So, as we all know, face-to-face interaction is how PFA is normally done. Okay? However, the conditions of the current pandemic hinders us from doing so. So, keeping a physical distance to others, no, is required during the outbreak. And as we all know, this physical distance can easily be bridged, no? Madaling yung layo natin physically, parang madali lang siyang papaglapitin ulit tayong lahat. At dito, gagamit tayo ng iba-ibang modes of communications ng PFA na nababagay sa kung paano gagawin ito remotely. Okay, kung paano gagawin ang psychological first aid virtually in a distance. Okay? At kung babasahin natin ng mabuti, no, makikita natin na yung action principles ng look, listen, at link ay mahahati, no, sa mga iba-ibang activities. So let's start with look. So look refers to how to assess, number one, the current situation. Okay? People who seek support or sino ba yung nangangailangan ng support? Ano ba yung mga risks? And ano ba yung mga pangangailangan ng mga apektadong mga mamamayan at ano ba yung kanilang mga expected na emotional reactions? Sa listen, it refers to how to begin the conversation, how to introduce the helper, how we pay attention and listen actively, how we accept feelings, how we do calming, paano natin pinapakalma ang ibang tao, paano tayo nagtatanong tungkol sa kanilang mga pangangailangan, at paano natin sila tutulungan, no, in addressing their needs and problems. And lastly, the action principle of link refers to how to assist with, number one, accessing information, number two, connecting with loved ones and social support, and number three, accessing services and other help. Okay? So, na-enumerate na natin to isa-isa, no? Puntahan at balikan naman natin uli sila because hihimay-himayin natin kung paano ba ginagawa ang mga action principles na ito. And let's start with the action principle of link. Okay? So nakita natin kanina yung mga individual points on how to do the action principle of look. Pero in general, look is all about assessing needs and planning considerations. Okay? And we begin exploring what the action principle of look is by first doing assessment. And here are some questions for considerations for us to be able to assess. Number one, what are the practical and emotional support they might need? For example, yung bang mga mamamayan, yung bang mga tao, do they need to cope with their worries or their fears regarding COVID? Or do they need support because they are experiencing abuse or violence? Okay? What kind of support should I give them? Because they have this kind of fear na nawawalan na sila ng kabuhayan. Okay? So those are some questions na pwede nating itanong for number one. Secondly, what is their current situation? Ano ba yung sitwasyon ng mga tao ngayon? Sila ba ay in total lockdown? Are they isolated? Are they quarantined? Okay? Are they alone or are they spending time with their loved ones? No? Sila ba ay naka-confine sa hospital? No? Sila ba ay frontline workers? At ano ba yung kondisyon ng mga frontline workers ngayon? Okay? So those are things that we have to consider. And thirdly, we also have to know the kind of risks that they are experiencing. Are they scared that they might spread the virus even though they show no symptoms, etc.? Are they prone to prejudice and discrimination because sila ay PUI or PUM or sila ay suspected na merong case ng COVID? Sila ba ay nakakaranas ng diskriminasyon? So yung mga bagay na ito ay dapat nating nalalaman, no? Para mas mapapaunlad natin yung programa na meron tayo para kung sakaling tumawag ang mga taong ito, dala-dala yung mga concerns nila, madali natin itong mahahandle. Okay? So basically, ang sinasabi natin dito, dapat alam natin yung nangyayari para mas madali tayong makakatulong. Okay? And speaking of dapat alam natin yung nangyayari para mas makakatulong tayo, no? Ito yung ni-request na sa akin ni Director Ronnie, no? Na ano ba dapat yung malaman ko at ano ba yung pwede kong gawin kung sakaling ang mangangailangan ng tulong ay ang aking colleague. Ayan. So, kasi nandun tayo sa assessment part eh. So, ano yung mga signs na magsasabi na ang aking kasamahan sa DepEd ay maaaring nangangailangan na ng tulong? Okay? So, as we all know, no, yung physical signs, madali yang matunton. It's very easy to interpret physical signs because we are able to see it with our own eyes, we're able to feel it and experience it, no? Yung nararamdaman at nararanasan ng iba. But now, we are in a certain situation that we are physically distant with each other. Baka nga yung sa inyo, parang magkakalayo pa ng mga barangay, o kaya mga sitio, magkakalayo pa ng mga tinitirhan. So how will you know? How can you do it remotely? We can look for signs, no? Halimbawa, sa mga nakikita natin na posts or kawalan ng posts sa social media. Okay? Baka yung kasamahan mo, nagpo-post na siya na nahihirapan na siya, wala na siyang makain, no? Tapos, nagpo-post na siya ng mga bagay na parang malulungkot, no? So, these are already signs na baka, kailangan na niya ng tulong. Pangalawa, social exclusion, no? Before the ECQ, this colleague of yours, madalas siyang mag-text, madalas siyang magparamdam, no? Madalas siyang laging may sinesend na something. Pero ngayon, no? Parang hindi na niya nagagawa 'yon. Hindi na siya nagpaparamdam. Wala ka ng balita tungkol sa kanya. That could be a probable sign. Third, no? And this is something to do with work. This is work related, no? So, ano ba 'yan? Hindi na ba siya nagre-respond sa mga official correspondences sa office? Hindi na siya tumatawag, hindi na siya nagre-reply, hindi na siya nagse-send or nagre-reply sa email. Okay? And then fourth, has something to do with low work productivity. Okay? Nangailangan ng medyo nangailangan ng trabaho, na ipapasang trabaho, nakapagpasa nga, pero very poor yung work output, no? Or hindi nagsasubmit on time, or hindi uma-attend ng meeting. So ito ay ilan sa mga signs na maaari nating masabi na baka kailangan ng colleague ko ng tulong. Okay. Pero matapos mong malaman yung mga signs na yan, ang sunod na tanong, ano yung gagawin mo? Okay? And this is what you're going to do. What can I do? Number one, no, hindi porke may mga signs ako na ipinakita dito, no? Hindi porke na nakikita nyo yon, hindi ibig sabihin na totoo na talaga na ganun yung experience nila. Kaya as much as possible, number one, we have to monitor them. Okay, for example, in a span of a day or 2 days or 3 days, gaano mo kadalas nakita itong mga post na ito na ilalabas sa social media? Gaano kadalas ka nag-text sa isang araw na ni isa wala siyang reply? Okay? So we monitor. Pangalawa, we ask first. Okay? And we don't just assume that they are experiencing a crisis. Magtanong muna tayo. Okay? And in asking, we approach respectfully. We do not push ourselves to them as if parang talagang ipinipilit mo na may problema. Hindi, magsabi ka na, anong problema mo? Ganyan. So we approach respectfully. At kung sakali na nagsabi siya na meron nga siyang pinagdadaanan, number 4, empathize. Okay? And how you'll be able to empathize fully? Okay? By listening, of course, listening attentively and actively. And then number 5, reassure as best as you can. Ano yung cue natin dito sa PFA? That your reactions are but normal responses to an abnormal situation. Okay? And number 6, understand the person, lalo na kung saan siya nanggagaling. Unawain natin siya. Number 7, we offer support and we help the person accessing reliable resources. Okay? We encourage the person to do self-care. And then finally, kung pakiramdam mo na hindi mo na kaya or yung kaibigan mo, yung katrabaho mo, hindi na niya kaya, then number 8, it's time for referral. Okay? So later on, i-stress pa natin yung mga bagay na ito kasi part ito ng listening part. Mamaya, ng listening action, ng action principle of listen. Okay? And baka marahil ang iba sa inyo na nandito sa webinar na ito ay mga team leaders, supervisors, or mga coordinators. Ano naman yung mga magagawa nyo para sa inyong mga team members? So, here are some, according to the Interagency Standing Committee, here are some messages for supervisors and team leaders on how they can support their team members. So number 1 is to regularly and supportively monitor your staff for their well-being and promote an environment which promotes conversation. Usap-usap, kumustahan. Number 2, ensure good quality communication and accurate information updates provided to the staff. Okay? So kung may update man, dapat ito lahat ay legitimate, tama, at nakakatulong. Number 3, ensure that your staff get the rest and recuperation they need. Remind them to rest from time to time. Number 4, provide a brief and regular forum to allow workers to express their concerns and ask questions. Okay? So dapat may avenue tayo dyan on how they can ask questions. Number 5, encourage peer support amongst colleagues. Maganda sana kung meron tayong body-body system. Ayan. So, 1, your mga 2 or 3 in a body system, tapos chine-check nyo yung bawat isa kung kamusta na. Number 6, facilitate access to and ensure staff are aware of where they can access mental health and psychosocial support services. So the DRRMS will be giving to you a document listing down all contact details regarding supports, psychosocial support providers that you will need or you have to be aware of. And number 7, provisions and strategies are in place for both workers and managers, and that supervisors are able to role model self-care strategies to mitigate stress. Ayan. So, dapat merong yung mga team leaders, dapat mga role model din kayo. Pinapakita nyo sa inyong mga team members na mahalaga ang pangangalaga sa sarili. So, hindi nyo pinapakita na madali kayong ma-stress. Dapat pinapakita nyo kung paano nyo pinangalagaan ng sarili nyo para gayanin din kayo nila. Okay? Ayan. So, after doing, so that is for the assessment part. So after assessing what the particular needs of the population is or are, we now go to planning considerations. And in planning, we should plan for the right tasks. Starting with number 1, since we are going to do remote PFA or virtual PFA or PFA in a distance, we have to identify the channel of communication that is most appropriate for your use. And what we have to consider that here is that it should be available and accessible to the general public. So when we are talking here of accessibility, feeling ko pinaka-accessible dito is phone calls or internet calls, voice calls. Pwede rin naman ng video call. Number 2, operating hours. So will you be available 24/7 or on specific hours of the day? So you have to make it also known. Why? Because operations open 24/7 receive many calls, especially at night, from people living with pre-existing mental health conditions or other illnesses. So kung may oras po na madalas tumawag yung may mga pre-existing conditions, usually ito po ay this oras ng gabi. Kaya po, if you're going to decide on a 24/7 hotline, make sure that you have the appropriate training to do so, and there is supervision. Okay? Number 3 is information dissemination about the service. No? How will you be able to reach a significant amount of people? Paano nyo i-announce na gagawa kayo ng PFA? Paano nyo masasabi sa kanila, sa mga nangangailangan, na kayo bilang isang organisasyon ay nag-o-offer ng PFA? Number 4, safety and privacy of both caller and responder. So consider and adapt to the physical environment. Kung ano yung environment na meron kayo dyan sa inyo, you try to adapt. Ensure privacy and avoid disturbance during a call. For example, make sure no one will disturb. Okay? Let family members and others know that the room is used for a call or video conference. Halimbawa, kagaya po ngayon, I have to inform yung kapatid ko tsaka po yung nanay at tatay ko that I'm doing this webinar. So bawal nila ako katukin, bawal nila laksan yung TV, bawal sila mag-ingay, no? Para hindi po ako ma-distract sa ginagawa ko. Okay? So choose a quiet place. So maintain confidentiality and safety of channels of communication. Make sure na yung way ng communication nyo ay hindi mawa-wiretap or hindi mahahack. Okay? Number 5, ease of use of communication tools. So kung gagamit po tayo ng medyo advanced na technology or ng technology, we have to consider whether the technology is user-friendly, no? Kung madali ba siyang gamitin. And then also we have to consider signal and access to internet connectivity. Okay? Kasi baka mamaya wala kayo nun. Number 6, referral pathway. So, kung paano tayo magre-refer, referral system na meron, kailan mo dapat malaman kung kailan na siya i-refer. So, lahat po ito ay naka-indicate, mamaya mababanggit ko dun sa link part. Okay? And then number 7, voluntary recruitment. Well, this is not exactly your problem because basically, you yourselves are the members of the team. You yourselves are the volunteers. Okay? So, after the given considerations, itong planning for the right tasks natin are taken care of, a protocol should be established. Okay? So, in establishing protocol, we should consider number 1, do we follow existing protocols or do we create a new protocol? At ano ba yung content ng protocol na iyon? Dapat pa tayong may common script? Ayan. So for the following slide, I'm going to use some suggestions on what to include regarding the protocol. And number 1 is your guidance for answering calls, which will be discussed later on in the listening part. Okay, yung guidelines. Paano ba tayo sumagot ng tawag? Number 2 is monitoring of callers. Okay, should it be a requirement to note any statistical information such as age or gender? So you have to take note of that, no? At kung kailangan nyo na kunin yung pangalan, edad, or gender, or iba pang impormasyon nila, then we have to ask for their consent and their permission. However, kung ayaw nilang ibigay, hindi ba ibig sabihin na ika-cancel mo na yung call o ika-cancel mo na yung PFA. Dapat ibigay mo pa rin yung PFA. Sunod is literacy and information drive. Meron ba kayong updated na impormasyon tungkol sa COVID? Meron ba kayong mga websites na alam or mga measures na sinasabi ng otoridad tungkol sa pangangalaga ng sarili at pangangalaga laban sa COVID? Okay? So, dapat meron tayong available na mga resources regarding this, no? So, dapat naka-prepare natin yan. Number 4 is on referral system. So, again, well, this is in the linking part and this will be provided to you guys. So, you will be guided accordingly for referral. Number 5, psychoeducation. Do you have resources or materials, or do you have an updated list of link and other information about psychoeducational materials na maaari nating i-share or ibigay dun sa mga tatawag or hihingi ng impormasyon? Yeah, so dapat meron din tayo nito. And number 6, which is a also very important, care for carers. So you do not forget not to take care of yourself. It could be helpful if there will be something like a debriefing following a duty, or ayun, or gumawa ka ng mga pamamaraan for you to be able to cope and help yourself after you have received inquiries for psychological first aid. Okay? So that basically is the look part, which is which is the whole preparation phase. So dapat ihanda mo lahat ng iyan bago ka makapag-conduct mismo ng psychological first aid. Okay? So again, kung re-reviewin natin ang look, it's about assessing and planning. Okay? So punta na tayo sa sunod. Ang sunod natin na action principle is the principle of listen. Yan. So this will serve now as our guidance for answering and responding to calls. Okay? So PFA can be in the form of audiovisual or audio or only audio or auditive contacts only. Okay? So ito yung bago natin talaga sagutin yung mga tawag, ito yung ilan sa mga konsiderasyon natin on how we can handle calls. Okay? So remember, number 1, to exercise empathy and warmth. Okay? That's important. So if you are using voice calls or yung boses lang, nag-uusap lang kayo sa telepono, for you to be able to show empathy and warmth, make sure to speak slowly, dahan-dahan, clearly, malinaw, and calmly, mahinahon, and to modulate voice that shows care in order to communicate empathy and warmth. Na safe siya, or gagamit tayo, yun, kagaya nito, mag-i-screen share tayo ng mga material, no, na maaaring magpakita sa kanya na siya ay nasa isang safe, na siya ay safe at ligtas. Okay? Number 5, asking the right questions. We all know that PFA is not critical incident stress debriefing. So we do not usually ask the questions what, when, where, ganyan. especially the question why. But if ever, no, kasi we will engage naman in conversation, as much as possible, we use open-ended questions to clarify, okay, to clarify points or to confirm kung ano yung sinasabi ng caller. So we ask one question at a time and avoid interpreting what the caller is saying. And number 6, be aware that it is normal to react with anger, frustration, or confusion when experiencing adversity. Huwag ka magpapanik. Kunwari, narinig mo yung tumawag sa'yo na nag-iiyak ka agad. Huwag po tayo magpapanik. Kasi alam natin na yung nararamdaman nila ay mga normal na reaksyon lamang sa isang abnormal na sitwasyon. So, dapat the more na mas pakikinggan natin sila. Okay? So, yun yung mga skills na dapat makuha natin in answering calls. So, paano na po yung actual na pag-respond sa mga tawag? Okay? How do we now answer calls? So, I am going to provide to you a step-by-step guide. So, number 1, excuse me, begin by introducing yourself. Your name, your organization, excuse me, and your position in the organization. Ayan, so dapat inform sila. Number 2, itanong mo kung paano ka makakatulong sa kanila. Ask how you can be of help. No? So you may ask, how may I help you? No? May I also ask for your name so that I know what to call you. Okay? So kung ayaw niya ibigay yung pangalan niya or yung identity niya, it's okay. Still continue. No? Mas importante yung naibibigay mo na tulong. Pangatlo, agree on the duration of the call. If you're only planning to receive calls for around 30 to 45 minutes, let the caller know that you are only doing it in a short period, in that period of time. Para magkaroon ng yung caller, magkaroon na siya ng setting of expectations na dapat may address at may ibigay niya yung concerns niya within that period of time. Okay? Number 4, we listen to the practical and emotional needs of the caller. And in doing so, we should help them in these 5 different aspects. Number 1, we help them in exploring their emotions. So should the caller be worried, explore what the person is particularly worried about and what their specific concerns are. Halimbawa, maaari nyo po bang masabi sa akin kung ano yung inyong pangamba, no? Nasabi nyo po kanina sa inyong kwento na kayo ay nag-aalala. Maaari po bang malaman kung ano yung mga bagay na sanhi ng inyong pag-aalala? Ayan. So, we explore. Number 2, we help in normalizing their reactions. So, in case of extreme stress, worry, fear, or loss of control, reassure and normalize these reactions by explaining that such feelings are normal during any crisis event. Okay, yung usual na cue natin na lahat ito ay normal lamang. Number 3, we have to assist them in learning about COVID. Okay? So another option na maaari nating maibigay sa kanila para mabawasan yung worry nila is to mention how having updates and correct information about COVID is helpful for them. Sabi nga nila, maganda ang may alam. So, dapat alam nila ang mga impormasyon na ito. Number 4, we help them in accepting emotions. Tanggapin ang kanilang mga nararamdaman. At isa sa mga maaari nating gawin para madali nilang matanggap ang kanilang mga nararamdaman ay sa pamamagitan ng pagtulong sa kanila na ma-identify at mapangalanan, to identify and name those emotions so that it would be easy for them to acknowledge that they are feeling such emotions. And then, number 5, we help them in setting their own limits. Halimbawa, ang sanhi ng worry ng tao ay yung mga nababasa niya na post sa social media. So dapat, isasuggest natin na bawasan niya yung masyado niyang pagpo-post sa Facebook or yung masyado niyang pang-aaway sa Facebook. Kasi kung yun yung nagiging source ng stress niya. Or bawasan ng time ng panonood sa TV. Okay? So setting limits. Number 5 is that we ask about coping, self-care, and stress management. No? So we ask the caller usually what they usually do to cope with difficult situations and feel better. Ano kaya yung ginagawa nila before na nakakatulong sa kanila in times of a crisis? Baka kasi marahil yung mga ginagawa nila before ay makakatulong din sa kanila ngayon. So have them name a few of them and discuss if they can be useful for the current situation. Ayan. But in case, kunwari yung caller, nagtanong siya for recommendations, you as the PFA provider should be prepared, no? And you should suggest other exercises, coping techniques na maaari niyang gamitin, such as breathing exercises, such as relaxation techniques, progressive muscle relaxation, grounding, mindfulness. Yan, pwede natin itong ituro sa kanila. Okay? So matapos natin silang turuan, pupunta tayo sa number 6, no? Matapos yung mga bagay na na-identify ninyo sa mga maaari niyang gawin, tanungin natin siya na sa mga bagay na iyon, ano ba yung mga maaari niyang gawin? Na sa palagay niya ay kanyang mismong magagawa. And after identifying, we ask the caller to list down all of these things para the caller will be able to put this into practice. And then we can also ask them to write other sources of inspiration, no, that can help them get through the crisis. Okay? So that is for listening. Okay? So some guidelines, no, kung paano tayo tatanggap ng tawag. So after ng listening part, pumunta na tayo sa huling bahagi, which is linking. And this is about referring and ending call. And baka rin kasi mapansin ninyo, there are some items here in link that overlaps with the listening part. So yung part na yon sa listening tsaka linking, nag-overlap sila, kaya sabay silang nangyayari. Halimbawa na lang ay ito. We help people address basic needs and cope with their problems. Ayan. So, di ba, yung mga coping skills, mga ganyan-ganyan, yung mga sanhihingi ng tulong. So, nasa listening part yon, but at the same time, tinutulungan na rin natin silang mag-link. Okay? So, if the caller needs some practical or emotional assistance, the PFA provider should refer the caller to specialized services. Number 2, ayan. So, na-discuss na naman ito sa inyo before. So, dapat, binabalikan uli natin, no, yung mga kondisyon kung kailan ba tayo kailangan mag-refer. Okay? Na yung tumawag yung caller natin needs specialized support. Okay? So ito yung mga kondisyon kung kung kailan tayo magre-refer. Okay? Halimbawa, meron nang nangyayaring abuso, hindi na makatulog, hindi na makakain, no, may self-harm na or harm to others. So, kailangan na ng specialized support. Number 2, give information. Ask what they know and believe about the virus and where and how they get updated information. So, kung babalikan natin, dun sa listening part, parang may kinalaman siya dun sa learning about COVID. Okay? Number 3, connect to social support. Tanungin natin sila kung paano sila nag-stay in touch or nakikipag-communicate sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. mga kaibigan, mga katrabaho, at iba pang mga importanteng tao sa buhay nila. Okay? Kasi baka mamaya hindi pa nila kinakausap yung mga friends nila, etc. And then, tanungin din natin sila, paano sila nakaka-access ng religion? Sila ba ay nakakasamba pa, nakakasimba, nakakapagdasal? Paano nila nakukuha yung suporta ng kanilang mga ministro or mga pari? Okay? Or mga iba pang religious leaders. So, dapat tinutulungan din natin sila na lapitan ang mga taong ito. Pang-apat is on referral itself. So ask if there are any practical problem or challenges. Babalik ulit tayo dito sa considerations for referral. So kung kailangan ng referral, i-refer natin. Okay? Kung hindi naman, then hindi niya kailangan ng tulong. Okay? And then finally, we end the conversation. Tatapusin na natin yung pag-provide ng psychological first aid. So we summarize the conversation by highlighting key issues discussed and the action points identified. So uulitin nyo, parang review kayo ng ginawa ninyo, na pag-usapan ninyo, para mas tumaas yung memory recall, no? And then you agree on a follow-up kung meron, and kung posible, and then you end the call by thanking for the conversation. Okay? So that basically is how you do psychological first aid, no? By doing the action principles of look, listen, and link, and adapt it, ina-adapt natin sa isang remote version. Okay? Na usually sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng phone calls or video calls. Okay? So matapos nating malaman 'yan, ano ba, kaya na ba natin, no? Alam na ba natin yung gagawin? Hopefully, yes. No? However, we have to mind ourselves of some important issues regarding the conduct of psychological first aid. At isa sa mga issue dito has something to do with the participation and access, no, of marginalized and vulnerable people when it comes to psychosocial support initiatives. Bakit? Kasi limitado or wala silang access pagdating sa technology. Okay? So paano kaya ito magagawa ng paraan? No, sometimes the answers to this is already beyond, no, our capacity. So mahalaga na at least may mechanism na ginagawa para sa mga marginalized and vulnerable. Pangalawa, aside from yung mga common issues at concerns na may kinalaman sa COVID, hindi natin maiiwasan no na may mga tatawag sa atin na ang issue ay hindi COVID, pero mga issue na related sa isang outbreak, related sa enhanced community quarantine. At ano yon? Number 1, potential increase in child abuse. Okay, so baka may tatawag sa inyo niyan. Ano yung gagawin mo? Number 2, domestic or intimate partner violence. Number 3, substance abuse. And number 4, anxiety related to facing severe economic hardships. So at least meron tayong crisis management protocols on hand on how we can handle such situations. Pero given, no, for example, yung sa domestic, intimate partner violence, substance abuse, anxiety, pwede na itong ibigay sa specialized services. Pero for child abuse, there's a special protocol that should be followed, and ito po ay parte ng dokumento na ibibigay sa inyo. Sunod ay may kinalaman po sa social stigma. At ito po ay nasa sa ating banda bilang tayo ay mga responders. So in summary, ang sinasabi lang po dito ay mag-iingat tayo sa mga salita na manggagaling sa ating mga bibig. Mag-iingat po tayo sa mga salita na ating gagamitin, especially when referring to COVID and persons related to or persons related to na may relasyon sa COVID. Halimbawa, yung paggamit ng Wuhan virus, Chinese virus, COVID victims, COVID suspects, no? Plague, apocalypse, katapusan na ng mundo. Okay, kasi po ang paggamit ng ito ay maaaring humantong sa social stigma. Okay? And then, some important planning considerations. Well, okay na po ito, naayos na ito ng DepEd DRRMS. So, hindi ko na po kailangang ibigay ito sa inyo kasi ito po ay naihanda na nila at ready na ibigay sa inyo. So, ito po, ito na lang, dito na ako magfo-focus na ito po yung ilan sa mga tanong, no, na pwede nating itanong na kaya nating sagutin in advance. Okay, kung sakali na iisipin natin na mag-conduct ng psychological first aid, halimbawa, anong technology yung gagamitin ko? Phone lang ba? Cellphone lang ba? Or laptop or tablet? No? Pangatlo, paano kung may problema ako sa signal or internet? Paano kaya yung gagawin ko? Saang parte ng bahay ako pipwesto kasi doon malakas ang signal? Aakit ba ako ng bundok o ng puno para lang magkaroon ng signal? Pangatlo, wala akong gadget, no? Pero gusto kong tumulong. Anong pwede kong gawin? Manghihiram ba ako ng gadget sa kakilala ko? Or bibili ba ako? Wow, no, parang pwede tayong lumabas no, para bumili. Pang-apat, well, hindi ako marunong gumamit ng mga Google Meets na yan. No? Kaya hanggat maaga, pag-aralan na. At panglima, what if mag-fail yung communication channel na meron ako? Ano yung option na meron pa ako na pwede kong gamitin na backup? Okay? At kapag na-consider na natin ang mga yan, yung mga issues at yung mga bagay na yan, I guess we are ready for psychological first aid. No? At sa panghuli, lagi nating tandaan, no, that our negative responses to COVID-19 are but normal reactions to an abnormal situation. We can actively do our part by focusing on things that we can control, especially, for example, keeping safe, taking care of ourselves, and preventing the spread of the virus. No? So we focus on the things we can control and let go of those things that we cannot. So with that, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you'll be able to apply remote psychological first aid after this session. Hello.
Thank you so much, Sir Dan Paulo Ariema of University of the Philippines. Now let's proceed to our next speaker, still connected to the mental health and psychological first aid. We have Ma'am Belle Hyacinth B. Baginon, RN, MPM. You're on screen, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hello, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much, Ma'am Christine. And thank you, Mr. Dan Yema, for an enlightening, entertaining presentation on mental health, psychosocial support, and remote psychological first aid. At this juncture, it is my pleasure to formally introduce to you my fellow DepEd nurses. Starting off with Cluster 1, we have Ma'am Leia L. Ingayo, RN. She is assigned in Davao City National High School in junior high school. And we also have Mr. Ken Joseph P. Jugarap, RN, also assigned in Davao City National High School, but he is assigned in Senior High School. We also have yours truly, Bel Hyacinth V. Bata Baginon, RNMPM. I am assigned in F. Bangoy National High School. Together with us is also Ms. Trisha Cherise C. Estrada, RN. She is currently assigned in Santa Ana National High School. We also have from Cluster 3, we have Mr. Brechnald V. Season, RN. He is assigned in Cabantian National High School. So in behalf of all of us, we would like to extend our sincerest and deepest gratitude to all teaching and non-teaching personnel who continually supported our OK sa DepEd, or also known as Oplan Kalusugan sa DepEd program. Your unrelenting support is a great contribution, not just for the students, but to our fellow DepEd employees as well. Moving on, we have updates on COVID-19 cases. As of 5 p.m. yesterday, DOH Davao Center for Health Development reported 10 new cases of COVID-19 in the region, bringing the total number of active cases to 490. Of these cases, 3 are from Davao del Sur, 3 are from Davao Oriental, 2 are from Davao del Norte, and 1 each from Davao City and Davao de Oro. 3 are 36 recoveries reported yesterday. Among these, 32 are from Davao City, 3 are from Davao del Norte, and 1 from Davao Oriental. Of these cases, 5 are locally stranded individuals, or LSI, 3 are returning overseas Filipino, or ROF, while 2 are local cases. A total of 419 persons were tested yesterday, of which 10 tested positive for COVID-19. With these alarming daily updates, let us do our part to help minimize the cases and eventually flatten the curve. We heal as one. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Bell, for the update. It's good to know that we have recoveries, and we are grateful for all of our frontliners, even our nurses in school. Saludo po kaming lahat sa inyo. Thank you so much again, Ma'am Bell.
Maraming salamat din po.
All right, let's proceed to the last part of our session, the Sininggaling art-based therapy. But before that, we would like to say hello to the MTs of Santa Ana National High School, to the master teachers of Santa Ana National High School English Department. We have Ma'am Jessame R. Moises, Ma'am Judith A. Mosquete, Ma'am Christina Santos, Ma'am Elenita Boston, and that's from Ma'am Concha Pameladon. Good afternoon po, and hello kay Ma'am Cynthia Cabral. Happy kape sa mga kasamahan nating guro dyan sa Bernardo Carpio at sa F. Bangoy. Happy kape din kay Ma'am Debbie Kate Mascardo. And hello to our master teachers in senior high school, Davao City National High School. And to all of the English teachers of Bernardo D. Carpio, special mention to Mr. Eugene Dorado and Chris Carmel Himno. Hello po. Good afternoon po sa inyo. At hello sa lahat ng English teachers of F. Bangoy National High School, headed by Ma'am Jo Jani Gelbolingo. Hello, Ma'am Gelbolingo. Good afternoon po. All right, let's proceed to the Sininggaling art-based therapy. And our speaker this afternoon is Sir Unides Jimmy Hesoro III, AO5 Regional Office. You're on screen, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, Ma'am Christine.
Go ahead, sir. You're on screen.
Thank you. My courtesies to our DepEd officials and personnel present here online this afternoon. To our PSDS, Dr. Winifredo Ikagape. Sir, thank you for this opportunity to be with our Cluster 1 and Cluster 3 school heads and teachers. Of course, good afternoon and my courtesies as well to the school heads of the 16, I think, 16 schools belonging to clusters 1 and 3 under the Schools Division Office of Davao City. And of course, to our dear dedicated teachers from the different schools under clusters 1 and 3, and to all our friends and guests joining us this afternoon in our sininggaling exercises. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. How are you this afternoon? I hope you are well. And welcome to our sininggaling activities for this afternoon. Art therapy is used to express ourselves as another way of communicating when speaking in words are not enough. With the pandemic that we are experiencing at the moment, some of us may not be too expressive in words as to how we are reacting to the turn of events brought about by the threat of COVID 19 since the last, I guess, 5 months here in our region. Hence, art therapy is a good alternative in order for the not so expressive person to be able to release his or her feelings and thoughts about the things that surround him or her at this point in time. I will be assisted with the technical person as to my slides showing, please. All right. Okay. All right. Is that Sir Eugene? That's it. All right. So, as what I've mentioned, art therapy is used to express ourselves. It's another way of communicating when speaking in words are not enough. Shall we proceed to the next slide, sir, please? All right. According to Pamela Hayes, the creative process taps into our subconscious mind in a way that we just cannot do when we are talking. Hence, later during our activity, you will be given enough time to be silent while you are doing your artwork so that something deeper within you may be unearthed after our simple exercise this afternoon. Next slide, please. Some of the advantages of art therapy are the following. It can be therapeutic by becoming a form of relaxation as you are enjoying the activity. It can also build self esteem, and it also releases some tensions and anxieties. But before we proceed, allow me to help you out with our short exercise of stretching and releasing because I understand you have been sitting for almost 3 hours already this afternoon. So we will do some stretching, which you can also do with your learners when we will be doing our online classes before and even after we do our classes. So we will have movements from our head going to our upper extremities because we are just sitting at this point in time. So we will have our head and neck rotation for 3 counts. That means from right to left, and then 3 counts as we do the reverse of it. Right? So let's start. Everybody, please be comfortably seated wherever you are and just follow the head rotation or the neck rotation. Start 1 and then 2 and 3. Then reverse slowly 3, 2, and 1. So if you can hear some knuckles, those are the tensions that were not released recently from you. So let's go down. Let's have the movement going down now to our shoulder. So gently hold your shoulders left and right and move inward 3 counts, reverse 3 counts. Let's start. Inward 1, 2, and 3. and reverse. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. All right. So let's proceed to the movements now of our hands. So stretch your hands left and right and do the movements inward, 3 counts. I hope this can be shown, but the movement is like this way, 3 counts, and then reverse, 3 counts. All right. Let's proceed now. Start. 1, 2, and 3, and reverse this time. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Very fast learners. And last will be our upper torso, this part here from our hips going up. So we will not be rotating it because it will be very difficult. We won't be able to do it. But we will be doing the stretching first to the right for 3 counts. Everybody now. 1, 2, and 3. And then to the left, 3 counts. 3, 2, and 1. All right. And the last for the hands and the finger movements will be 1, 2, 3. We'll stretch it up later. And then to the sides, 1, 2, 3. And then downwards, 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's start now. Stretch up as high as you can. And then release. 1, 2, 3. And sidewards. 1, 2, 3. And downwards. 1, 2, 3. All right. I hope you're able to release those tensions and anxieties, perhaps, so that this will properly dispose us to our siningaling activities this afternoon. Thank you very much, dear teachers and administrators. For today, we shall try some siningaling activities. These activities, next slide please, will require you of the following materials. I hope you can grab some of these materials close to you at the moment. We will need 2 pieces bond paper, ball pen or pencil if you have it with you, crayons or colored pencils, and a ruler, which I have here. All right. I hope you have all these things with you now at this time. All right. But by the way, I think I will be joined by 2 loving and dedicated teachers for this exercise. So, Sir or Ma'am Christine, can we now usher our pre-selected teachers for our interactive siningaling activities? All right, I can see them coming in. Good afternoon,
Afternoon, sir.
Sir
Good afternoon, sir.
Ismael, and surprisingly, Sir Arlington Vidal. Good
Hi, sir.
afternoon. Hi, ang ka-birthday ko.
Yeah, ka-birthday. Happy
Happy
birthday,
belated
sir.
happy birthday, Sir Anton.
Yes, sir.
All right. So kumusta kayo? How are you?
Uh,
Sir Ismael first from I think Davao City National High School, sir?
yes, sir.
Yes. Kumusta
Uh,
po?
okay lang po, sir.
Okay. Did you join us during our stretching activities earlier?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. How about Sir Anton? How are you, Sir Anton?
Okay lang, sir. It's okay,
Okay
sir.
naman.
Okay naman.
Nagbabike ka pa rin ba? Are you still doing the cycling, sir?
Yes, sir. Kaninang umaga, alas 4.
Wow, very good. Keep it up. All right.
Thank
So
you, sir.
thank you for your cooperation this afternoon and for saying yes. By the way, dear teachers, may I remind you that at any point you feel uneasy with the task or the activity being requested of you during this activity this afternoon, please feel free to stop and rest for a while. There is no pressure on you to complete these, and I don't want you to be hard on yourself. Just continue to join us when you are ready and is properly disposed again. Okay po ba yon, Sir Arlington and Sir Ismael?
Yes, Yes, sir.
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you.
Are we now all ready to start our art or sining galing activities?
Yes,
Can
sir.
I see some thumbs up sign from you to signify that you are ready to begin? Thank you very much. All right, so let's proceed. Next slide, please. We will start with the three-dimensional line art. Do you see the slides? Sir
Yes, sir.
Anton and Sir Ismael?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
thank you. So let's start with the three-dimensional, or that's what we call 3D line art. Okay, so get ready now for your first activity, a piece of bond paper. I hope our operator can help us with the next slide for the first instruction. So relax lang kayo ha, dear teachers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no
Relax lang,
pressure
sir.
this afternoon. Because we will be focusing on the process and not on the outcome this afternoon. All right? So first, you may want a piece of paper and any shape to draw or trace. An example is your own hand. Okay, so this is very basic. This is the one very near to us. So, like in my exercise, I will be using this afternoon my own hand. Okay, sige. You may start tracing now your chosen figure or shape, and basically the closest to us now is our hand. So the teachers joining us also from the different clusters, 1 and 3, may also do the same. So trace nyo lang po using a pencil or a ball pen. Okay? Kumusta dyan, Sir Anton, Sir Ismael?
Okay lang
Okay.
po, sir.
Okay na
I'm
po.
doing.
So we will know later what figure or object did you trace. Okay, let's proceed to the second instruction. Next slide, please. To make the lines, you can use your favorite marker or colored pencils and use a ruler as a guide in making straight lines. So you will be using your ruler because it has to be very even. Okay? Dapat pantay-pantay po yung lines. So, like what I did, if you can see, so these are the lines. So we start from on top of the hand with a straight line. Tapos I went down. Pababa ako, ano, if you notice. And then I use ruler to make the straight line. But you will not push a straight line or go on with a straight line doon sa object that you have traced. Okay, so look at this. So if you notice, the hand figure was without a straight line.
Yes, sir.
Tama ba? Sir Ismael, did you get it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Sir Anton. Okay, so I'm
Yes,
giving
sir.
you like 1 minute to finish your figure with straight lines, as well as the teachers who are joining us online. No, thank you very much for your cooperation in the first activity, which is the three-dimensional line art. Very good. I can see that you are giving your best. Sir Ismael, Sir Arlington, and the rest of the teachers joining us. Just give me a thumbs up sign if you are done with instruction number 2. Let's proceed to instruction number 3 with the slides, please. So number 3, make sure that you made evenly spaced lines. So that means the same po talaga yung measurement. Ano? If it's half an inch going down, then that should follow through until you reach the bottom part of your bond paper. So, did you do it, Sir Ismael?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Fast learner talaga itong dalawang teachers nito. Sir Anton,
Yes, sir.
parang kagabi ka pa nagpa-practice, ano?
Kaninang umaga lang.
Just kidding. All right. So let's proceed to instruction number 4. 4. When you get to your shape, kung ano man yung na-trace ninyo dyan, like your hand, you then want to make curved lines just within that shape. Continue to make straight lines when you get out of the shape. So, sa straight line, that's what you did. Pero doon sa hand, for instance, you will make a bump, no? Para bang, or just imagine yung parang hump doon sa mga streets, sa subdivision. Okay? Pag nandun na kayo sa figure na titrace ninyo. But outside of the hand, for example, you can see straight line. Okay? So, like here, if you can see it, I'm making a hump here, doon sa figures where the fingers are, if you notice. Okay, so
Ah,
ganun ang gagawin ninyo. Pero outside ng fingers and the hand mismo, it should be straight line.
okay, sir.
Okay, sige. Pag malaki yung hand, doon sa may palm na part, malaki din yung hump, no? Or yung gagawin nyo na parang curve doon sa may palm area ng iyong hand. Just for instance, if you have chosen hand as your figure for this afternoon. Kung vase naman yan, doon sa body ng vase, doon yung kanyang bump. Pagtapos noon, balik ka straight line paglabas nung body nung vase, for example. Sige, just give your best. I know it's a struggle because this is online and this is what will you be doing also with your students in due time. So patience is a virtue.
Virtue.
Just give me a thumbs up sign if you are done with instruction number 4. Thank you, Sir Anton. Baka malaking bahay ang ginawa ni Sir Ismael. Kaya he needed more time. How are you, Sir Ismael?
Okay lang, sir. Cellphone yung ginamit ko, sir.
Good. Sige, we will see later the 3D, three-dimensional line art of Sir Ismael's cellphone. Kamusta? Tapos na po kayo paglalagay ng hump or
Hindi,
curve?
hindi pa
Sige.
po, sir.
No problem. Take your time. So, Sir Anton, what is your figure again that you have chosen for this
Hand, sir.
afternoon? Hand. Okay, I'm sorry. Hand. Okay. And for Sir Ismael, is a cellular phone. Okay, smartphone. And later we will see from the comments ano yung ginawa ng ibang mga teachers natin from clusters 1 and 3 with this first sininggaling activity that we have. All right, so thumbs up, Sir Ismael. Okay, good. So let's proceed. Instruction number 5. After you've made your lines and the hump doon sa figure mismo, you can then use those as a guide and draw more lines around them. I think we're done with this. So, umabot na kayo sa baba, di ba? Sa last parts, sa bottom part ng bond paper. Tama ba? You have drawn lines until the bottom part, Sir Anton and Sir Ismael. Okay, like this one, I did hanggang sa last part ng hand, sa bottom part. So continue to make lines because we'll be doing some coloring activity later in this part. Hanggang sa bottom part nito. And I hope you can see it from your end. All right. So just give me a thumbs up sign if you are done with this instruction. Right, our teachers are giving their best, and we will also be doing this, soliciting from our learners to give their best, for our sininggaling activities in due time. All right. Shall we now proceed? Kung tapos na ang ating dalawang teachers with us. Thumbs up sign. All right. Thank you, Sir Anton. Sir Ismael, thank you. Instruction number 6. Now, you could use the colors that you find most relaxing and soothing, or trying bold colors that really just make you happy and in good mood. So first, you have to color. No, use choose one color first. Sir Anton and Sir Ismael. Okay? So una yung ika-color, you make a color doon sa straight line. Okay? Doon sa straight line, you make your color line like that, and then pagdating doon sa hump, aakyat rin kayo, and then balik na naman straight line until you reach the rightmost part of your bond paper. Okay? So do it from the top until the bottom part. So one color muna, one crayon or colored pencil, make a line. Yung medyo malaki, ano? Yung medyo malaki na makikita siya talaga, na straight, and then you go into the bump or hump, and then go down, or whatever figure you have chosen this afternoon. I'll give you a few minutes. I know it's quite challenging. Give you a few minutes to do that and enjoy while you're doing it. So again, one color muna from the top, no? Doon muna sa linya, and then hump, and then back to linya, and then pababa yung movements natin to the bottom part of the bond paper with your traced or drawn figure. Sir Ismael, okay lang dyan?
Yes.
Sige. Again, don't be hard on yourself. Kung you feel na, ay, mahirap na, so just relax. No? Smile naman kayo dyan. Ayan, kasi live po tayo.
Yes.
Worldwide, alright?
Worldwide.
Later na po yung shoutout ha. I'll give you chance to make shoutout. Alam ko marami kayong gustong i-greet, pero tapusin muna natin itong ating sininggaling activities this afternoon. Kumusta? Did you reach the bottom part of the bond paper already?
Yes, sir.
So we are still on our first color. Take note of that. And then later, I will give you a chance to choose another color of your choice for the next activity. I hope our teachers also joining us from clusters 1 and 3 are already in this part. Again, do not worry about your output or outcome, but we are more focused on the process and the feelings while you are doing sininggaling. Napaka-serious ng dalawang teachers on screen. Pwede din naman mag-smile. Ayan. Now you're smiling. Alright, kumusta? Tapos na po ba? Hindi pa.
Hindi pa, sir.
Okay,
Hindi pa,
sige lang.
sir.
Take your time. We are until 12 midnight anyway.
Wow, talaga night.
So again, we are still on the lines, no, on top of the lines, doon muna. Because proceeding to the next part is you will choose another color, one more color, and then you will color those under the lines. Sa ilalim tayo ngayon, tapos pag may hump or bump, yung curve on your figure, you will follow that. Color pa rin pero sa ilalim noong first color na pinili ninyo.
Okay, sir.
Okay? So if it's red, the first color, sa ilalim niyan, halimbawa, yellow naman ang second choice mo, sa ilalim yun. Follow from left hanggang right most part ng bond paper mo. And the movement again is from top going to the bottom part of the bond paper. Take your time, dear teachers, for that instruction. So sa baba na ngayon, okay? Going down the straight line or the curved line that you have done in your figure. Again, we are still on our first sininggaling activity, three-dimensional line art with Sir Ismail's chosen figure, which is a cellular phone, and Sir Arlington's chosen figure or object is his own hand, which he uses in his biking or cycling. Later, we will see, okay, ano yung outcome or output nila for our first activity. Tumawa na si Sir Ismael.
Pressure, sir.
No pressure, no pressure. Again, our focus is on the process, the feelings of the activity participant rather than the outcome this afternoon. Just show your thumbs up if you are done with the second color from left to rightmost part, from top to bottom part of the bond paper. And moving on, you choose your third color. Okay? You choose your third color and it should be below your second color. Okay? So kung red, yellow, and this time perhaps you have chosen green, that will be under yellow. Tapos straight line pa rin. Kung may curve, akyat, follow the shape, and then back to straight line until the rightmost part. And again, the movement is from top part of your bond paper going to the bottom part of your bond paper. Kindly move to the seventh instruction, please, sir. Number 7, you can use as many colors as you want to make as many lines as you want. And once you get closer to being finished, you can see your 3D shape pop out. So we will see in few minutes. We would like to show the world, no, the output of Sir Ismael and that of Sir Arlington Vidal.
Uy. God.
Yan, nakikita na nila ang kanilang three-dimensional line art. Very serious si Sir Ismael. Parang nahihirapan siya dun sa kanyang cellular phone. Okay. Not really. He said he's doing well. Sir Arlington, kumusta?
Okay lang, sir. Focus.
Okay lang, sige. We will see that okay later.
Later. Right.
Sige. So, if you are done with the third color, maybe you can proceed to the fourth. So, it should not be a repeated color, no? Kasi marami naman tayong choices sa crayons or colored pencils that you have. So, maybe up to the fifth color, no? I think we should limit up to the fifth color But again, follow the shape, the curve when you reach to that figure. Para you can see a three-dimensional figure being popped out of your coloring activity this afternoon. To all our teachers also joining us online, thank you very much for your perseverance in doing our three-dimensional line art. All right, I hope you are also joining us up to this point of our instruction. So you can also post your picture on the comments section as well as your chosen figure for the first sininggaling activity, which is three-dimensional line art.
Sura eh.
Hi, kamusta? Talagang napaka-focus nila sa kanilang figure, 3D figure. And I hope slowly nakikita nyo na nagpa-pop out. Meron na ba? May nakikita na kayong figure na three-dimensional, hindi lang yung plain cellular phone or smartphone and not just a plain hand, that you have traced earlier.
Pero tama man sa unang gibuhat.
Yes. Again, walang mali but tama, because ikaw mismo ang gumawa, Sir Ismael. Now,
Yes.
we will have a suspense first, no, kung ano yung output ninyo because later we will show it to the world. Okay ba?
Pwedeng hindi na lang, sir.
Pwedeng hindi na. Nag-request pa, ano. But sige, we will not be hard this afternoon. But enjoy the process. Enjoy the activity. Okay, so maybe 2 more minutes for that, no, to wrap up our first sininggaling activity, which is entitled three-dimensional line art. I know you missed your arts classes way back in high school, tama ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mga best in arts tayo eh.
Ah,
Alright. Ready na si Sir Anton with your output? Okay, later mo na. May
later.
suspense muna tayo. Next slide, please. Yes, scribble coloring. So if you are done, we can set aside our first output. Now we will give time later to discuss our output. And at this point, dear teachers, Sir Ismael of Davao City National High School and Sir Arlington or Sir Anton of Leon Garcia Senior National High School, we will be proceeding with the next activity entitled Scribble Coloring. In other words, kuris-kuris.
Kuris-kuris.
All right, so ready now your bond paper. And next slide, please. On a piece of paper, draw with your favorite pen or even your pencil just lines all over the place of that bond paper and make it a point to intersect these lines. Okay? For example, like what I did, just plain like this. A bond paper with lines scribbling all around from one end to the other end. Okay? Children call this kuris kuris. No, but to us, because we are teachers, scribbling. So giving you 1 minute to do this simple instruction or task. Second instruction, please. Number two, you want them to cross. Sorry. You want them to cross and you're making a bunch of scribbles. You can draw them in any shape you want. So as many shapes as you want, irregular shapes, as long as you did it freely, and you're enjoying the uh, activity of putting scribbles in your bond paper. Next, please. Number three, these lines will form abstract shapes which you can then fill in with color. You can use any medium like crayon, colored pencil, or if you have pastel colors, which is most relaxing to you. So maybe for the next 5 minutes, Sir Arlington and Sir from the Davao City National High School. I think may problem lang tayo sa kanyang connection. But you can start. Yeah, Sir Ismael, thank you. You can start coloring now using your favorite and perhaps joyful colors of your choice. Maybe 3 or 5 colors will do. So each of the portion that has been made out of your scribbling activity earlier. So you can use any medium, any material which is most relaxing to you while you do the coloring of the spaces you have made or produced in the scribble activity. Number four, this will help you out, dear teachers, Sir Arlington, Sir Ismael. Fill in all the spaces with your favorite colors, and when it's complete, you will have a colorful abstract piece of art. So your 5 minutes will start now. Right. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the coloring activity, like what you have had back in high school or even elementary days with our coloring books. So preferably, you will not have the same color in the same or yung spaces na magkatabi. No? So ideally, medyo magkalayo yung mga same colors. Okay? To produce a colorful output this afternoon. Thank you for your cooperation, dear teachers from clusters 1 and 3 who are still joining us this afternoon in the second activity entitled Scribble Coloring. I hope you're enjoying out there. How are you, dear teachers online, Sir Anton?
Yes, sir. I'm doing
Doing good?
doing good.
All right,
Naglibog
thank you.
pa sa
Sir
color.
Ismael?
Okay lang, sir.
Okay lang, thank you. It's so nice of you.
Dula-dula lang bitaw ni sir.
Yes, again, focus on the process and not on the outcome. And the feelings that you would have while doing the activity this afternoon. Bringing you back to the objective, one of the objectives is actually to release tensions and anxieties that you might have at this point in time during the pandemic. All right, thank you. Maybe 2 more minutes so that we can wrap up the second activity and proceed to our last part of the Sininggaling activity for our psychosocial activities of the learners as well as for teachers under clusters 1 and 3. So just a reminder, when we will be doing it with our learners, and if you seem to observe that they are no longer participating, so we will be checking on them, maybe perhaps later when the activity is done. Take note of their names perhaps, and then you will be asking them what went wrong, what was his or her feeling during the activity, or very important that we have to check the feeling that was elicited while he or she was doing the activity on the later part, and not to embarrass him or her online if you have observed that he or she stopped doing the activity. All right. So, kumusta kayo, Sir Ismael of Davao City National High School and Sir Anton of Leon
Doing good,
Garcia National High School?
doing good, sir.
Okay,
I
very
hope
good.
I hope my product is quite good.
Impressive. All right. No, no
Okay.
problem with that. Okay. So, as long as you have given your best, as well as our learners as well, you are on the right track. All right. Time to show the world our output this afternoon. That will be your masterpiece. Okay, don't forget that.
Ayaw sabat, friend.
Baka dumami pa yung mga Facebook friends nyo at saka marami pa magre-request once you have shown your output this afternoon. All right. So can I see thumbs up sign? Just when you are done. But if not yet, no problem. Ayan, parang ready na po si Sir Anton Vidal.
Hindi.
And of course, Sir Ismail also is continuing to give his best na in his output this afternoon. Right? So the more spaces that you have created because of the scribble you have made, the more spaces also that you'll be filling in with colors or crayons. Tama ba, Sir Anton?
Yes, sir.
Sir
Tama din.
Ismael? Alright. So, mas challenging yun pag ganun. How do you feel at this point in time, Sir Ismael? Still feeling okay? Not annoyed? Not
Mm,
distressed? Okay, konti lang naman tayo makakakita niyan. 1,500 teachers. Alright? From clusters 1 and 3. Tama ba, Sir Anton?
Tama, sir. Hello,
Okay,
Leon.
very good. Okay. Alright, are we now all set to show our output? Shall we start with Sir Ismael?
good.
First, sa 3D muna tayo. Three-dimensional. Sige.
Ito, sir.
Okay. Just when you are ready. Or, Sir Anton, would you like to do the showing first? And then I
I
will also
don't know, sir.
follow showing our output as well as Sir Ismael.
I don't know, sir, if it's correct, but I try my best to follow the
Sure.
instruction.
No problem. Can we now show it? There's no wrong, output this afternoon. Okay? Closer, please. Your hand three-dimensional. All right. Okay, that's good. So we can see the fingers. Okay, with three colors. Thank you, Sir Anton. Sir Ismael, smartphone, three-dimensional.
I don't know if it is correct, sir, but I try my best to follow your instruction.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Let's just be proud of what we have done. Okay, closer to the camera, please. Your smartphone. Okay. Akyat ng konti. I can hardly see from here. Okay. All right. And Sir Anton? Okay. No. One, the first activity pa tayo. First activity, yung 3D mo. And I'll show also mine. Okay? Can you see it? The hand with three-dimensional? All right. Okay. So that's good, Sir Anton. Ayan. The baby Anton's output.
Yeah.
Ayan. And of course, Sir Ismael, your smartphone. Okay, you can see that. So parang meron siyang nag-protrude, no, na hand or smartphone output natin this afternoon. Okay, can we give ourselves a round of applause? Please, palakpakan natin ating mga sarili. Sir Anton, baba na yan. All right, let's give ourselves a round of applause. No? We appreciate what we have done this afternoon. Let's proceed to the second activity. Scribble coloring. Show first, Sir Ismael, your output, please. All right. Okay, so different colors. And then you can see. Do you appreciate now that's an artwork, Sir
Yes, sir.
Ismael?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Sir Anton, show what you've got this afternoon. All right. So irregular figure, but now very relaxing to look at because of the different colors you have chosen. Thank you. Let's bring it down. And this is my output also for this afternoon. All right. And irregular from the scribbles to an artwork because of our chosen colors. Okay, let's bring up all our output, please, Sir Anton, Sir Ismael, for a picture taking or documentation. Ayan. Maybe somebody from our TWG can take a picture. Ayan. Yung makita rin yung face mo, Sir Anton. All right. All right. Fast learners talaga. Thank you very much. And let's give ourselves another round of applause. Okay, please. Palakpakan natin ang ating mga sarili. Ayan. I think we have learned a lot, no, from Ma'am Lera Jo Gamutan earlier, and of course, she's our guidance counselor from the division of Davao City, and Sir Dan Paolo Yema, our registered psychologist, no, from the central office, about mental health. And appreciation of whatever we do is part of mental health, positive mental health from among teachers and learners. All right, so let's proceed on our processing. Next slide, please. So we will have the process questions. Very important that if we do this with our teachers as well as learners, we will really process the experience. Now, may I sincerely ask Sir Anton and Sir Ismael to give your honest responses to the three process questions we have prepared for you this afternoon. Number one, tell us something about the artworks you have made today. Okay, so you can answer in English or Filipino, especially Sir Anton is Filipino major, and also in our Visayan, no, if you would like. So, who will do the first one to answer?
One answer.
Sir Ismael,
Okay. Yes, sir. Um,
tell us something
so,
about your artworks today.
yes, sir. So the artwork that I had made is very interesting for me. It's quite challenging, wherein I can express my thoughts and feelings in another
All
way
right.
that is beyond the usual activity or means of expressing our emotions or feelings. Or perhaps we could also share this to our learners, especially in this time of pandemic.
Yeah, correct. Thank you, Sir Ismael. As I've mentioned in my introductory part, that not all learners or teachers are expressive in words, right? So they might be more expressive when they do the artworks, no, even the choice of their colors will also tell something. All right, thank you, Sir Ismael. Sir Anton, your thoughts, please, on the first question.
Sa unang tanong, sir, para sa akin, parang bumalik ako sa pagkabata and allow
All
myself
right,
to draw my hands. Para free hands lang talaga. During the times na inosente yung lahat na walang problema pa.
all right,
Especially this time of pandemic, kasarap bumalik nung that time na wala kang inaalala. Drawing ka
correct.
lang,
No?
colors lang. Yun yung una yung pumasok sa isipan ko, sir.
All right, thank you. No, at saka lahat naman tayo meron pa tayong the child in us. So you miss that part, no?
Yes,
With
sir.
the little Anton in you. And the activity, I think, helps you get in touch with the child within you. Tama po ba, Sir Anton?
Tama, sir.
Okay. Thank you also, Sir Anton, for your honest and sincere response this afternoon. Let's proceed to the second question.
What?
What were your feelings while
Mm.
doing the activity today? Again, what were your feelings while doing the activity today? So ano, let's go down to our feeling level. No, let's try to see your feelings or figure out no kung ano yung nararamdaman nyo kasi like I said, no pressure, do not be hard on yourself. We are not focusing on the outcome, although we have to show it, but we are focusing on the process and the feelings that go along with it. Okay, so start tayo ngayon kay Sir Anton. Sir Anton,
First, sir,
ano ba yung feelings natin?
yung una, yung pakiramdam ay first is yung kinakabahan at
All right,
natatakot
good.
baka hindi tama yung magawa ko na output, pero yung sinabi mo kanina, it is a free activity. There is an assurance
Yes.
for us na walang mali dito, everything is tama kasi nasa sarili mo yun kung ano yung emotion mo o yung nararamdaman mo. Yun yung dapat
Okay.
yun yung
So,
nararamdaman ko.
napakagandang sharing yan, ano? Kasi you started with the fear. Fear na
Yes,
baka magkamali, no? Teacher ako. Marami nakakakita ngayon sa output ko.
sir.
1,500 teachers ang nasa clusters 1 and 3. But, how did it change when I told you don't be hard on yourself, no pressures, lahat ng gawa natin or output ay tama. So, ano ang transition ngayon from the feeling of fear into what feeling, Sir Anton?
Yung feeling na confident at saka relaxed and there's an assurance na we are in a good hands.
Okay, very good. You're in good hands. Parang bangko yun, ano? But anyway, but that's good, no? That's very good of you that you have made the transition from fear, which is a natural feeling, into a feeling of confidence and excitement. Tama
Yes.
po ba? All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Thank you, Sir Anton. Also, that's our challenge as teachers doing this sininggaling online to always be mindful of the feelings of our learners while doing the activity. So, medyo extra sensitive po tayo. And then, during the process question part, always check with them, no? Yung negative, kung nagkaroon ba ng transition towards the end of the activity into something positive na feeling. No, otherwise, they might not like they may not appreciate the whole activity for that matter. So yun ang ating goal. Sana ang end part is from negative, kung meron man at the start, yung mga kaba, baka mamali ako, and then the teacher or the educator, the facilitator is reassuring the learner that everything will be all right. We will be focusing on the process and your feelings and not on the outcome. Nakatulong po ba yon, Sir Anton and Sir Ismael?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nakatulong.
Okay, yung ganong assurance na ginagawa natin while you were doing the activity
Doing
or artwork.
activities.
Okay, Sir Ismael, your answer or your thoughts, please, for question number 2.
Same feelings with Sir Anton.
Anton.
Arlington, sir. At
Yes.
first, I feel the tension on how to manipulate or how to draw, and
Yes,
along the
correct. That's
process,
very human. Okay.
yes, yes, sir. And along the process, I feel relaxed. I feel that I loosen up my anxiety and tensions in my body. That's it.
Very good. So from tension, Especially magkakaroon pa ng problem sa signal, no? Biglang mawawala ka dun sa grupo mo, and then later on you felt relaxed, especially when reassured you that everything will be fine, all of your output will be greatly appreciated today because you have participated very well. Okay? So that's very good. I hope we will end up with positive feelings, okay? So always review, always be mindful about the positive feelings, no? Feelings such as happiness, no, excitement, love. Don't forget, love is the most powerful feeling. Sometimes ma-overlook natin yon, no? But let us not overlook the or underestimate the power of love because it's a strong emotion or feeling. And of course, joy, no? That we are enjoying what we are doing at this time. Let's proceed to the third and last process question. Number three, how did this activity help you about your perspective of our world during the COVID-19 pandemic? Okay, so ngayon balik tayo kay Sir Ismael kung ready na po siya sa kanyang mga sagot sa katanungang ito.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We knew the fact that anxious thoughts can be more difficult to escape, especially in sustained isolation like lockdowns we are experiencing like right now. But I believe that this kind of art activity will help us to distract out from these negative feelings or thoughts. And it will
Yes,
also
that's
loosen
good.
up our anxiety, boredom, and tensions in our body. And in this time of pandemic, also creating something for ourselves like this art activity helps us to boost our self efficiency, and that is the belief that uh, we can the belief that we can do something. And that is why in this time of pandemic, we teachers as teachers, we must believe in ourselves that, or we must believe in our skills or abilities that we can deliver the best learning experience to our learners with the help of our mentors, our school heads, because together as
Yes.
one we learn as one. Hashtag sulong edukalidad, and hashtag Abante Clusters 1 and 3.
Very well said. Contestant number five, Ismael. Thank you, Sir Ismael. Very, candid thoughts and well thought of. Thank you very much. And then, Sir Arlington, your turn to answer question number three.
For me, during this activity, nagbago yung perception ko sa tungkol sa pandemic. Especially in this art, yung second art na ginawa ko.
Yeah, the scribble coloring.
Tribal coloring is all about green, yellow, and red. It represents uh, Christmas, Pasko, that let us not be stuck on negativity, especially this time of pandemic. Let us always remember that time will come, it will end, just like
Yes.
just like yung always nating inaasam-asam tuwing Pasko. I think this pandemic will end. Then through this art also, tingnan din natin na may kulay pa rin yung buhay ng tao. Let us not
Yes.
focus on the negativity, but let us take as a challenge for us na gawin yung isang bagay na dapat para magbago sa atin, sa ating pananaw ngayong panahon ito, na to go on our life, hindi tayo manatiling matakot sa mga nararamdaman natin. It's natural. Sabi nga siya, it's okay not to be okay, but we need to continue our life despite of this pandemic. Yun
Thank
lang
you
po.
very much. Contestant number six, Sir Arlington Vidal. All right. Okay, so you did very well this afternoon, and let's give ourselves a round of applause. Tingnan natin, ayan, that's part of mental health activity, appreciating ourselves through applause. And so sabi nga ni Sir Arlington, hashtag, it's okay not to be
To
okay.
be okay.
No? So thank you very much. Next slide, please. The invitation for us teachers now in clusters 1 and 3 is in the next slide. I hope it will show. I hope that you take a break in your day to just relax and maybe try one of these projects or artworks from Siningaling because there is the release, no? In fact, 'di ba? Even 30 minutes na relax kayo, tama ba Sir Arlington and Sir Ismael? No? And also find ways through internet, no? You can check out YouTube for a lot of artwork activities, no? Na guided po siya and then you can follow through day after day. The point is, let's find each part or each point or time of the day that you also give your time for yourself to relax and release your tension. So with that, that ends our short yet hopefully meaningful Sininggaling activities today. And I hope that we all together were able to reach our three objectives this afternoon for Sininggaling. So once again, thank you sincerely, Sir Arlington Vidal of Leon Garcia Senior National High School and Sir Ismael Wating Baog of Davao City National High School. My salute to all of you and to all the more than 1,500 teachers of clusters 1 and 3, along with their school heads, and of course our most dynamic PSDS, Dr. Winifredo E. Kagape, for this successful activity. I remember one artist saying his name was Ananda Kumaraswamy, and he said that the artist is not a special kind of person. Rather, each person is a special kind of artist. Tama ba, Sir Anton?
Yes, sir.
That each person is a special kind of artist. Sir Ismael, the two of you are artists this afternoon. All right, so
Thank you,
congratulations.
sir.
Before I go, shout out daw po muna to the administrators, teachers of Leon Garcia Senior National High School, where I came from. Special mention po sa Bubu Group and the Kaliawa homeowners of Leon Garcia Senior National High School. And belated happy birthday, Ma'am Army Chavez. Thank you po, and back to you, Ma'am Christine Reyes, the beautiful host for this afternoon. May God bless us
Thank
all.
you so much. Yes, thank you so much, Sir Unidas Jimmy Hesor III, AO5 Regional Office. And thank you also, Sir Ismael of Davao City National High School and Sir Anton of Leon Garcia National High School. I think my favorite part there would be the scribble coloring. So it's really, really good. Now, for tomorrow, we're on the last part of our afternoon session. Tomorrow, we will have our training manager, Sir Riuel Alvarez, Principal 4 of Santa Ana National High School. And our host or our moderator for tomorrow is the very beautiful Ma'am Maureen Ava Acuña of Santa Ana National High School. And today, also, we would like to thank our training manager, Dr. Liberty Arellano, Principal 3 of Cabantian National High School. And thank you so much, our Cabantian National High School teachers. You did really, really great today. And for the evaluation link, we have two evaluation links for today. One for cluster 1 and one for cluster 3. It's on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, the evaluation link. So do not forget to evaluate the program today. We would highly appreciate that, the feedback and suggestions. There you go, the evaluation link, tinyurl.com/c1 lms daily. That's for cluster 1 only. For cluster 3, we have tinyurl.com/c3-lms-daily. I think the difference would be yung isa may C1 and this one has C3 for the cluster 1 and 3. So please be reminded, teachers, iba po yung sa cluster 1, iba din po yung sa cluster 3 natin. And again, for the assigned Management of Learning tomorrow, we have Santa Ana National High School headed by our the best, our very own Sir Ruel Alvarez, Principal 4 of Santa Ana National High School, and the moderator will be Ma'am Maureen Ava Acuña. And so before we end our program this afternoon, might as well check the YouTube link on your screen for tomorrow's live streaming. It's there. There you go. bit.ly/capital CWTLMS small letter day 5 plenary session. So snap it, and tomorrow you can just type it on your browser, or you can write it up, or just the best thing to do is snap it. We're doing the new normal for this afternoon. All right, I think that's it for today. So I am going to do the closing prayer this afternoon. Since we started our day with a prayer, we started our webinar with a prayer, I think it is very important that we also close it with a prayer. So, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Almighty God, we started this webinar with you, and we are closing it with you. Thank you for making this webinar a success. And we would not have done it without you, because many are our plans, but it is you who establishes them. May the things we have learned today stir our hearts, and may we put them into action. May what we've learned impact our lives, our families, friends, students, and the rest of the world positively. In Jesus' name, we believe and pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. But before that, thank you so much once again to the Division of Davao City, the school heads of clusters 1 and 3, our PSDS, Dr. Winifredo Ikagape. Thank you so much, sir. Our training manager for this day, Dr. Liberty Arellano, Principal 3 of Cabantian National High School. Thank you for taking care of us today, ma'am. And the whole team is grateful for what you did. We appreciate the simple gesture of just asking kung kumusta naman mo dira, day. We appreciate that. Cabantian National High School for our management learning this day from morning till afternoon. Saludo po kaming lahat sa inyo. Maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta. Now, this has been Christine Mayo Reyes of Davao City National High School, and thank you for your time. Amping tang tanan. Now, let's do the countdown. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're out.